nobody really gon' keep it as real. Say what you want, say what you feel. Ain't nobody really gon' keep it as real like you, like you, like you, like you, like you, like you, like me. Say what you want, say what you feel. Ain't nobody really gon' keep it as real.
Hey, what's good? What's good? What's good? Drop your 3 centers. We are back for the after party. What's good, Quez?
What's going on, my brother? What's going on? What's up, Jess?
Hi.
How you feeling?
Pretty good. How about you?
Man, we in the place to be.
We are in the place. What's up, T? How you doing?
Nothing. I normally get a warning. I didn't know I was on there already.
If you stay ready, you have to get ready.
Today. I'm trying to stream on my Instagram, so that's what I set up. It says we're live on my Instagram, so
okay.
We shall see.
What's up, Instagram? What's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTube? What's up, Twitter? Anywhere that we're streaming, what's up with you? TikTok, wherever, however, you know, we appreciate you.
Like, comment, and subscribe, man. We need to run these subscribers up. You know what I mean? Y'all show up to party, but y'all don't subscribe, man. We need you to subscribe and like.
We'll be on the campaign. We'll be on the campaign all next week to get subscribers up. We might even give some away for those who bring at least like 10 people to drop your 3 cents. There could be like a free trip in it or somewhere.
Hey, we got you.
Travel expert over here, so you know we can probably give you a free trip somewhere. Timbuktu, Compton, Harlem, Bankhead. You know,
yeah, we're gonna give him a free trip to Compton.
That'd be an experience.
Oh my Lord! Did teacher freeze?
No, she probably pulling to me.
Oh man, yeah.
She did freeze.
Yeah, I think she had froze for a second. I was looking like, why she look like that?
Like some folks we know. Hey, for those that tuned in yesterday, I want to apologize. You know, I had a prior engagement. You know, I couldn't miss this meeting. I'd already kind of ducked a few, you know, saying to be here with y'all. So I had to show up in good faith, you know, to help support my community. You know, that's what us Black men do. If we give our word, we honor, and we stay true to our word. So, you know, I had to give a little bit here, and I had to go make sure I put in some work over there. So, yeah. So, yeah, much love, much love. It was getting hot and spicy. I really didn't want to go. Y'all were lighting up those comment sections, man, and it was popping. So, you know, we're going to continue some of those conversations today. We'll pick up from the porno star, you know, would you wife or marry a former porno star or somebody with a high body count?
Hey, drop that link early, man, because they was mad about that yesterday.
They were sure was. Where the link?
They had that link, boy. They was upset. Also, nobody else get on stage? I want to talk too. Why I can't get on?
Right. You know, you gotta forgive old Third. Sometimes, you know, my thoughts slip. I've been meaning to do it, and I go, my thoughts run a mile a minute. So you gotta forgive me. Forgive.
It happens to us all, brother. It's okay.
But yeah,
how was y'all Saturday though, man? What y'all get into today?
Man, we went to Orange County. We took a trip out there, came back. You know, we got back just in time, you know, saying to make sure that we're here. What y'all get into?
Man, whole lot of nothing, man. Cleaning up.
Nothing today.
Tree out finally. You know what I mean? Finally threw the Christmas tree out. Man, I got tired of looking at that thing. Time to go.
Right. That's what I planned on doing. I wanted to wake up this morning, just get the cleaning. I just felt like in the cleaning mood because, you know, I'm on the go so much with work and being here, being there. I just wanted to make sure I got up and clean, but I couldn't really do that today. We stayed busy all today.
Well, I know you had to go to Orange County and see some of your cousins. You know what I'm saying? And all good stuff. So, you know, it's always important to check in with the fam. Ain't nothing wrong with that, brother.
Yeah, I'm tired too because I was up watching the season finale of what you did to Kanan, man.
Whatever, man.
I just got one question. Why don't you like Rock? You know, what did Rock do to you?
Hey, I couldn't tell you, sir. I don't know. Tanisha, what did he do to Rock, man? Yeah, I gotta ask my wife. I don't even watch it. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even watch
But
it. Yeah, I don't
you
watch
gotta
it.
watch it, man.
She gotta update me on what's going on. What am I doing on the screen? You know what I'm saying?
You gotta watch it, bro. I'm telling you, that was a good finale. It had me in shock, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want it to end the way it did, but yeah, Raising Kanan is actually a pretty good series, man. Shout out to 50 Cent.
50 be putting out some good content, man.
He do. And I'm getting ready for BMF, you know, which comes out March 1st.
Yes,
Yeah,
now that I watch.
watched some of that too. I like that. I did watch.
Yeah, that I watch. So I'm ready for that.
How was your day, Tisha? What's up, Tanisha? How you doing?
It was cool. I just chilled and I made some more soup today because I was craving soup. So that's it.
Right.
Just
I feel
chilling.
Truthfully, it was kind of cold today, you know, and you know, so yeah, I definitely just wanted to kind of just kick back, though. We had to hit the road. We're gearing up just to make sure we take our little road trip next week too.
Right.
So.
Yes, sir. Tanisha, you off work today? Oh Lord.
Oh snap! Oh snap! I think she's coming on today.
Let's get
just to let you know, we're gonna be talking about, you know, could you or would you marry a former porn star or somebody that has a high body count? Brittany Murphy was good with you. My apologies. I seen Brittany popped up into the comments yesterday talking about, oh, I missed it. You know, she was a little.
Yeah, I seen she did too. Now you on time today, baby.
You on time. we will continue. If you want to pick, we'll pick up where we left off about that. Or would you marry a former porn star or a person with a high body count? Today we're gonna talk about, you know, the Monique Club Shay Shay interview. That's the one that I was wanting to get to yesterday, but you know, brother Quez, you know, Vice President Quez over here said, "Nah, we keeping it for the after party because we can't get that within an hour."
You would have missed your meeting.
See how it went, right?
You're very, very right. Right.
You would have never.
We try to make sure you stay on task.
We probably would have still been on it right now.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Then we're gonna talk about Quez's brother from his actual real brother, Tyrese, talking about he wishes that he was Latino at a time.
Say what? Who, brother?
Hey boy, little Jody, you know, little Jody.
Yeah, okay. All righty.
Hey, what's up, Damian Hollywood? Brittany, I appreciate you while you're still at work. Hopefully you got your headphones in because this is the after party. So you know, I got my libation. Just got her libation. Tisha, do you got your libation?
I do.
All right.
Oh, Lord,
you want to know something? I see Quez got his. He chilling today. He got the nip. He got the Nips hoodie on with the beard, with the do-rag.
Hey, rest in peace, King Nip. You know what I'm saying?
Rest in peace, King Nip.
Hey,
he got the do-rag on and he got the Ronnie Mathis glasses from Power. I see you.
Boy, okay. All right. You
shout out to the Incredible Hulk.
Oh, that's my drink right there.
That boy that took it back to 2003.
Right. That was
my Incredible Hulk. Bruh, what are you doing?
Let's pray for us.
Made me feel real old today.
Yeah, we said a prayer before we came on here.
Lord,
this ain't no tea. This is Hennessy. Okay, Brittany says she in her office. All right, good. Because it's about to get raw and raunchy up in here.
We were bad yesterday. It's going to be worse today.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a lot worse today.
Shout out to Shannon. Shannon said that she was a happy hoe. She used to be a proud happy hoe. Now she's reformed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, man, I should have just stayed and just made sure we just finished up the live yesterday. It was going on to a good.
Yeah, but you would have never met. You would never made it.
Yeah, that was going to be one of them 3-4 hour ones right there.
Right.
On that one topic.
Look, Damien already ready. You know what I'm saying? He already in the comments with the
with his answer, huh?
Right. His body count high, if not higher. Okay, Damien.
Oh.
But that was that was some of the consensus was that, you know, that they say some dudes got high body counts and I think Tisha, you said it yesterday that or you said something to the effect of like these dudes have high mileage or something like that, or I don't know what you said.
Somebody else said it. Yeah, somebody else said
Okay,
that. Mm-hmm.
which could be true, but I think for the most part, though, I mean, realistically, if you get with somebody, and especially if they have kids, you already know that they have sex. So, I mean, that's just the thing about it. We already know, but I don't think it's necessarily you want to see it documented to where you have a reference track. You can actually go back and go see it. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, if it's a porn star where it's like 5, 6 dudes all up on one time, same time, you know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, what Ricky Bobby say? If you ain't first, you're last, baby.
Right?
If you ain't first, you're last. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh. Mm-mm.
Ain't that the truth?
You ain't catch him early, boy. You're bad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's your bad.
I don't know. It's not really necessarily no judgment, but hold on. Damon Hollywood says, keeping it real. How can I judge her? Let's both get some blood tests and move on with our relationship. I'm a porn star off screen, so I got to be fair. You know what?
Boy.
You might be right about that one.
Man, Damien out here stunning.
I mean, on a serious note, I mean, before you actually have sex with somebody, you should definitely be tested. You have to be responsible. Make sure that because again, you can trust yourself, but you don't necessarily know where that other person's been and who that person's been with and who that person and that person. So you definitely make sure that you stay healthy. You get yourself tested. If you are going to be promiscuous, make sure that you go get, some contraceptives, condoms, invest heavily in lifestyle or Trojan, or, you can practice abstinence until you actually find that one that you want to be with. But, but again, it's just, I don't know if it's documented. It's kind of hard to get that mental note out of your head. You know what I'm saying? For me.
Well, it's not even you. Guess who can't get the mental note out their head? All your friends.
True.
That see the video.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah.
Man, like, your wife got a nice beauty mark right there. I see like.
Don't get yourself hurt.
I just think the birthmark on her upper thigh, and man, she could take a wild, mean.
Yeah. See. Okay.
I'm
just saying this is some of the narrative. This is locker room.
No,
talk.
I know, and it would drive me nuts if I had to hear. Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, you know what? This not working.
Like I said yesterday, some of y'all are already with some of these undocumented porn stars. Just keep it to yourself.
Yep, that's what I said yesterday. You might be with one who has never been paid for it. You don't know.
Right.
True. Very, very true. All right, y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like and share button. I was waiting for Shannon to come back to drop her jewels because she's dropping some jewels.
We got quite a few viewers. You know what I'm saying? I see the views going up, man. Y'all come on in here.
If you want to be a guest,
after party.
If you want to be a guest, I hit the link. I pinned the link in the comment section. Just go tap on the link. Come through. Oh, make sure when you come on, if you want to be a guest, make sure you got your cameras on. If you're using your phone, make sure you have your headphones. Also note that your headphones do work as a microphone, so it picks up on everything, whether you're eating, you're chewing, you're snoring, you're sneezing, whatever, it picks up everything. And like Quez likes to say, we're running a production here. Like I told you before, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're everywhere. So mind you, you don't know who is watching, and you want to be the best representation of yourself. So you can't get mad at us if you over here sounding and looking like a cow, and we don't warrant you. You know what I'm saying? And mind you, so we also do have the power to either mute you or take you off the stage, if it's inconducive to what we got going on here. So there's nothing personal. Just we're running the production. We're trying to keep things nice and tight, and we're just trying to take things to the next level.
You will be sent to the gulag. Don't worry about it.
Also, because we had a little mishap a few weeks ago, or the last part, the thoughts, views, and opinions that are expressed by those solely, they're responsible for whatever comes out of their mouths, and you need to hit them up accordingly. Don't hit up me, don't hit up Quez, don't hit up Teach, talking about, oh, what did they say? Because we don't necessarily feel that way unless it comes out of our mouth. So if I say something that you don't like, you hit me up. If they say something that you don't like, you hit them up. And, you know, that's how we're going to be. So
get off where you're mad at, baby. I'm bringing it over here. Get off where you're mad at. Hey, you know what we didn't do yesterday, Third? Did you have a Third's word of the day?
I didn't. I didn't. I don't even know if I got one today. I've been busy. Third word, the boy is busy.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Third word of the day, Incredible Hulk. So whatever comes out of my mouth, whatever I say, please forgive me.
We are not responsible for what comes out of his mouth tonight.
Ain't got nothing to do with it.
Right.
To do with it. So all right. Let's move on, man. They ain't show up for that today. I don't know where the squad is.
And I'm mad. I'm mad that I went to the meeting yesterday now because again it was getting hot. We had some good comments or whatever, so we had to just light the fire again. All right, but let's go ahead and talk about this Monique situation with Club Shay Shay. And if we got to come back, we'll circle back to the whole housewife situation. We'll come back to that. Now this is one of them occasions.
You grew up in the 90s, boy.
All right, so the latest craze or the latest thing that's been going on right about now is Monique's interview with Club Shay Shay. Now, in the same fashion as Cat Williams, Monique graced the couch of Shannon Sharp, and of course, we all know that she's been kind of bashing or getting at or throwing stones at people for a few years now. So this is the perfect opportunity and platform to let off her smoke and to drop her 3 cents on folks. And it's been interesting because now she has people talking. Melvin says she is a liar. I'm gonna say I don't not all the way. I think there's certain things she over exaggerates, but I don't think she's a liar per se. But let's see some of these clips.
I was bitter. I was dangerous with what I was doing, saying that it was inequality. My husband didn't know what he was doing. This went on through the years. I was unloved, all of these things. And I said to myself, I'm going to see you. I'm going to see you. I didn't go on nobody's show. I didn't say nothing to nobody, but I knew the time would come that I would see him. We were scheduled to do a show in Los Angeles. I was the headliner of that show. His name was on it, then his name came off. I didn't question it, but I knew I'm going to see him, right?
Eventually.
Okay, now we have a show in Detroit. Contractually, I was the headliner. D.L. Hughley posted a memo. Now, when you signed your deal for the Ravens, did you sign a contract or a memorandum?
I signed a contract.
You see how you say that? Years, I was anybody that knows good business. You signed, the memo was saying this is what I would like,
right?
But the contract is saying this is what it is. Okay?
Yes.
He put out a memo to our community, and that touched me a little different because I was saying, why would you lie to our babies? Because now they're thinking if they send somebody a memo, that's what they're supposed to get. Okay? I was contractually signed to go as the headline.
Right. You mean you go last?
D.L. Hughley didn't come into the building until 9:30. Now, contractually, I said I had to be on stage by 9:30 because if the show starts at 8, I refuse to keep an audience waiting.
Right.
That is disrespectful to the audience.
Correct.
When I went on that stage, Shannon, I made sure everything I said, he heard me. Because now you're here and I'm going to say it to you. Like anybody.
I remember our beautiful sister Tiffany Haddish did an interview with GQ magazine. And this, in my humble opinion, is where we keep throwing each other under the bus. You're doing an interview with GQ magazine, and I'm assuming the journalist was a white person. And the conversation turned to Monique. And she said, well, I don't do business like Monique do business, and I'm glad I don't have that husband of hers.
But she don't know your husband.
And when I saw that, it's like, Tiffany, if you had a husband like mine, you may not have 2 DUIs. If you had a husband like mine, you may not be caught up in what looks like you could have been grooming a child. And I say all of that with no judgment. But when you speak about having a husband like mine, you open up the door. And I'm saying, I remember.
That was just some of the stuff. I think Jess is kind of hearing it for the first time.
I think so, because I looked at her face. I was like, oh, she didn't see it. Yeah.
Melvin MC Toe says DL didn't lie. He brought proof. Monique is a lie and a hoe, and her husband is a punk. Well, damn. Tell us how you feel.
Okay.
Man, you should be on the show then, sir.
Right.
I definitely want to hear what proof he brought. You understand?
Melvin gives 3 funks.
I know it. I sure want to see. Sherelle, you seen it, Sherelle? Okay.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah. Melvin needs to come on camera.
Melvin says she's an old country hoe.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, sir.
Man. All right. So listen, for those who've seen it, yeah, Tish, did you get a chance to see it?
Yeah, I watched it.
All right. So what are your initial thoughts? Because the thing is, so the reason why it's so, I guess, eye-catching is because Taraji Henson pretty much came out and said that, Black actresses in Hollywood are underpaid and they're this and this and that. And she got emotional on TV and she cried. And it got a lot of her uproar and people start putting magnifying glasses to certain situations. But of course, somebody said, well, Monique said this a few years earlier. So, what's the difference between Monique saying it and Taraji saying it now? And, that caused quite of a stir. So, fast forward, I think she even addressed that. I think I got that clip, but I don't necessarily know. Do you guys want to see that clip or not? Or are we good?
I think
you can play it for maybe those who didn't see it, but I saw it. So
I got you. I see
Taraji. Broken. On those platforms. It was painful to watch. However, Taraji and I had a conversation over a decade ago.
Yes.
In my trailer when I was doing the Monique show. And she said, you got to keep on getting it until your turn comes. And I said, Taraji, most of us die before our turn comes. We got to ask for it right now. Now, I understand that because there was a time I felt the same way.
Exactly.
Because that's what I was told.
Right.
You just keep going and we'll get them the next time. We'll get them the next time. We'll get them the next time. And the next time never comes. And then you see our sister broken, sitting on those platforms. Now, when I said it,
why didn't it get the traction when you said it that when she said it? Now all of a sudden everybody is coming, and I don't have a problem. I'm glad.
Yes.
But if you said this a decade ago, and I remember you saying it over a decade ago, why didn't it get the traction? Why didn't it get the support? Why wasn't it propped up when Monique said it?
I think there's a few reasons why. Number one, it was the messenger. I should just be grateful I got invited to the party. You a big, fat, black woman. How dare you be the one? And then on top of that, you're saying names. You're saying Oprah's name out loud. You're saying Tyler's name out loud. You're saying Lee's name out loud. You're saying Lionsgate out loud. That's not what we do. We say they. We say the people. We say the studio. We say the producers. How dare you actually say our heroes' names?
You're very specific.
And we'd like to bring into the stage Adoration, all the way from Thailand. How you doing?
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, girl.
Thank you.
How are you, 12?
I'm tired.
He's starting, girl.
Are you 12? How are you today? 13?
Am I 12?
You finally made to be a teenager?
Guess my age. How about that?
Man.
Well, happy birthday, little lady. We appreciate you for coming through.
Thank you.
Hey, Melvin, you boy, sir.
So Melvin says that's like Kobe talking and Shannon Brown talking. Oprah is trash. Half of the names are trash, but she trash. Jamal, what's good with you? He says hello, my people. He says happy birthday to you too, Adoration.
Thank
Jamal?
you.
Now, I mean, there's some truth. There's some truth to what she's saying. I mean, the thing about it, I think the difference between Taraji and Monique is because people actually like Taraji. I think they respect her. And then there's half of the world who does not like Monique. You know, there's some who do, and then there's some who don't. You know, so the thing is, my 3 cents, just my 3 cents with Monique. And I seen it posted by somebody else who actually worded it so eloquently and said pretty much what how I felt was that, you know, she's talented. You know, I think she's a better actress than she is a comedian. She has some she definitely has some good acting chops. She seems like she could be cool to maybe like chill with, but the thing is, did she speak some truth? There was definitely some truth, but I think there's a lot of holes in her story, and I think some of it was exaggerated. And if you know some of the truth, then it's kind of hard to kind of, you know, to ride with her on it. And this is coming from a Hollywood insider, and he's one of those ones who keeps it all the way funky, you know. But yeah, he says there's a lot of holes to her story, and that's what I believe. I feel that some of it's over exaggerated. I think sometimes she tries to use things to benefit her for her own personal gain, and I don't necessarily think it's for the benefit of Black people, as like how she quotes. And especially, I lost a lot of respect for her when, you know, she brought up, you know, D.L. Hughley's daughter, you know, saying in her trauma, and you know, she tried to, you know, try to make it seem like, oh, or lower the blow to it. But just you even bringing up that and saying that, you know, he was a coward for allowing something to happen to his daughter, and that was something that was beyond his means. I think that was a low blow. You know what I'm saying? I lost a lot of respect for saying that.
Time out, sir. Time out, sir. See, we got to get these narratives right. We have to get these narratives right, because what she said also many years ago about D.L. Hughley's situation was kind of accurate when she said she knows what it feels like for your father not to believe you when something happens to you. That's cowardly. That is very cowardly. If my daughter was to come to me and say somebody touched him, I don't give a damn who you are. You could be Jesus for all I care. If she said it, I'm investigating. I don't care if you've been friends for 20 years, 30 years, none of that. So like, you got to be careful with these narratives that they push out here. And you know, because she's the messenger, as she stated in the video clip, you got to be careful when you play into that pool, because it's a slippery slope. And I want everybody to have an equal playing field. So let's not do that. That's all I'm saying.
I got
Go
you.
ahead.
No, I agree with that too. But Quez beat me to it. Yeah, it wasn't that he didn't know or whatever the case may be. Like, his daughter told him like this was going on, and he did not believe her, and that person was still being around for a while too before any action was taking place. So that's why parts of what he said, how he clapped back, part of me is like, okay, I hear you, but part of me is like, I don't know, because what she spoke on about what your daughter, that was facts. But how you dissect between what's factual and what's not? So there is there's some loopholes, and sometimes I think too, some of the stuff that she explained, it might be a little bit exaggerated. It might, but I truly sat there and watched her objectively, regardless of how I actually feel about her as a person. Even though I don't know her, I sat there and watched the whole entire thing, and I saw a lot of points that I agreed with. So I had to mentally take out, you know, how I felt that she was explaining it. You know, I think that she's exaggerating, but I needed to pay attention to the content. And so I kind of ride with her with a lot of the stuff that she said.
Let me explain something to Melvin real quick, because he's saying what, but why is Mo bringing that up? Simply because of the fact of after she won an Oscar for Precious, Oprah decided to invite her entire family, including the person that molested her, on national TV and have a discussion with them about it without her. And then people like D.L. Hughley had so many comments to say at that time. See,
what is going on?
I never heard that.
These are the problems with the narratives that happen. because time can kill a whole lot of information. Like everything's moving so fast that people nowadays don't remember those moments, you know. But if I keep receipts, so after she won an Oscar, Oprah went out and grabbed her entire family and had a discussion about her without her there and the type of person she is. And then people like D.L. Hughley got on their national talk show and said discouraging things about her. So it's never fun when the rabbit got the gun. When the industry
hold on a second. So did DL actually say anything?
Yes, he said a lot on his little radio show.
Yeah, he did, because he did bring that up too.
That's what I'm saying. You can't play the game and then when somebody call you out on Front Street and it's like, oh, well, why would you shoot at me? You know, bro, you've been shooting shots. You've been having little comments. Just like she said about Tiffany Haddish. She ain't do nothing to Tiffany Haddish. Why would you say something about that lady husband and how you wish that wouldn't be you? But here you are single.
I can play advocate to that, but hold up. Melvin says, how is it though? Monique has so much beef with everybody. At some point, we had to realize she's the damn problem. There's some fact, and there's some over exaggeration in that, Mel. I don't think she has beef with everybody, you know, but she has beef with a lot of people, and you know, a lot of people have kind of said the same narrative. But to flip it, they kind of play on Quez's side. I mean, you have people like the Steve Harveys, you know, damn it, but funk it. You have people like the Steve.
Who these whole lot of people are.
But you have people like Steve Harvey,
right?
You have people like Steve Harvey who tried to, you know, when she I guess came on the show, you just apologize and you did that and that's where I agree with her that he was a sucker for that. He was a huge sucker for that. So there's things where there's people like him, you know, where she has some validity to what she is saying. I'm not going to completely knock what she's saying. So she's not all the way the problem. Some of the times the problem is the other people like Steve Harvey. This is the same dude who sat up there, was talking all this trash about Trump. Then Trump invites him up to go to the Trump Towers, and he comes down the elevator in front of some cameras. Well, I think we just ought to give him a shot and just we got to just see how it goes. You know, speaking to the black community, I lost all respect for Steve Harvey once he said that. And he's that type of dude. If you give him a check,
who is Steve Harvey's friends? Who is Steve Harvey's friends?
Right.
Cedric.
DL Hughes.
DL.
Okay. All right. I'm just, you know.
Can't say Bernie. We heard about what went down with Bernie. Jason says third. She just called Steve, who is just call Steve who he is. House.
Yeah.
They're going along to get along. There has been a narrative in the industry, like we talking about Monique, we talking about Taraji P. Henson. Dave Chappelle said the same thing when he was at the Screen Actors Guild. He said instead of calling people crazy, if they keep complaining about Hollywood, maybe there's something wrong with Hollywood. So these same names keep coming up, and now it's becoming a point to where people ain't scared to say the names no more because there's a conglomerate of individuals who you can say my name if you want to. I'm still me, and all we'll do is make everybody think you're irrelevant after 6 to 9 months, and we got you out the way, and I can continue to abuse people.
Yeah.
Can I piggyback off of what he said?
Yeah.
So I feel like with Taraji, as far as what she, I guess, was the messenger and Monique was the messenger, a few years back? Taraji is more relevant right now than Monique was back then. That's how I feel. That's why it got more heard, because Monique wasn't relevant back then.
That 100%.
No, I can see that. I was thinking that too when I watched it, because I had to go back to how long ago it was when she first said it, and think about all the conflicts she had during that time. So there was people that were not on her side at that time. So the message is definitely going to be skewed because no one even wants to hear you say anything. They don't want to hear nothing that comes out your mouth. So I think that's why too. Like she said, it was the messenger. If it was somebody else who probably said it at that time, it probably would have been taken seriously.
This lady had just won an Oscar. That's
Not at that time. This is a few years.
Yes,
this is a few years after.
Because remember, Lionsgate was trying to make her go out on tour
and do
a press
promotions for
run
free.
after Precious had already, you know what I'm saying, been played in studios. And then right after that, she got an Oscar. And then she came out and said what she had to say after the Oscar.
So Precious came out 2009.
Right.
But let me just butt in real right there. Like, I kind of agree with Jess because, to be quite honest, and I am very detached from the whole black world and everything. But to be honest, I didn't know who Monique was until the controversy came out. I'm just being honest. I didn't know her name. I was like,
I forgot you are younger. You are younger.
Yeah, but Taraji, I knew her. I knew her. She's like, I mean, she's not like Steve Harvey, but like Steve Harvey, I've known him all my life, like from a baby. Bernie Mac, those names I've known. Taraji was like, okay, I know her. Monique was like, oh, who is this? Oh my God. This lady said that. So to be quite honest, I agree with Jess. She is just comparatively, let me put it like that, irrelevant. Comparatively.
Well, it's funny that you say that because I'm a piggyback. What's up, Perla? How you doing? But that so you mentioned Steve Harvey, Bernie Mac. So right around that time of the Kings of Comedy, there was a Queens of Comedy that came out, and she was on that tour. And so again, like a lot of people, she seemed to be like, Steve Harvey's like counterpart, like female counterpart, back in the day when she was a little bit relevant. So, so for you to say that, I mean, yeah, she was on the Parkers, with Countess Vaughn. So, I mean, she had some relevancy. And then, like Quez said, in 2009, she won that Oscar for Precious with sick movie, sick but good acting, but still pretty dang on good. But it had been some time before she actually had her next project, before she had her next comedy special. And so by the time that she made these comments, it made it seem as if, because someone had said like she was pretty much just having a tantrum because she wasn't relevant. So she was doing all these stunts to try to, and at that point, like Quez was saying, she was trying to ask Netflix for a lot of money to do a comedy special. But by this time, she was kind of like, dry.
Who is she?
Chappelle, she's not a Chappelle. She's not an Amy Schumer. She's not a Chris Rock. But she felt that she should be paid as a Chris Rock or as a Chappelle or Amy Schumer because of the fact that she did win that Oscar some years ago. So again,
who's Amy Schumer though? Who is
she's a white comedian. Chick. White
and an actress, I believe.
Oh, okay. Never heard of her.
She's very popular. She's very popular outside of the Negro world, I guess. But
oh, she made more than Monique.
Well, I knew who she was.
Oh, okay.
She had a few movies. She had a movie Trainwreck, but Amy Schumer, to Monique's credit, Amy Schumer is not funny. You know what I'm saying? Like she's kind of corny. You know what I mean?
I think
So I kind of get what she was saying, but at the end of the day, Amy Schumer was hot. So what Netflix is going to do is they're going to give you a special if you can draw in viewers, because at these times it's about streams and views.
Exactly.
So if you're putting an Amy Schumer next to a Monique, how are you going to compare when Amy Schumer can sit up there and get the tens of millions of views, whatever, and what Monique's going to get with the million? So they're looking at the numbers as far as that goes. Right. But so she took it to court. I guess they found that there may have been some discrepancy, so Netflix actually settled with her. I think they paid her and gave her a comedy special. But my personal third degree review, I watched it unbiased. I turned it off halfway through because it just wasn't funny.
I didn't even know they gave her a special because I didn't even know it was on Netflix. I didn't even know that actually happened.
Right, they didn't promote it, and I guess to Netflix's credit, they're kind of showing her a point, like, hey, you if you're this big star, we're paying you this money, let's see you put in the numbers. And there was literally no promotion besides the fact that, hey, she gets her own show. We saw little bits and pieces of it, but nobody really tuned in to watch it. See, Brittany Murphy says she never seen it. That's what I'm saying. I tried to watch it, but just on the Queens of Comedy, and I think I've seen some other. She just was not funny to me. And a lot of times, and a lot of things what happened with her before was there was a lot of I guess quote unquote skinny women who had a problem with her because she spent a lot of her times in her comedy and things attacking like skinny women or this and that. So there she's had some issues in the past. Now, because she's had these issues, does not mean that her point is invalid. You
Right.
know, are black actresses underpaid in Hollywood? True.
Yes.
Has she been blackballed because she refused, because she knew her worth? True. Yes, she was blackballed. Was she difficult to work with? I don't know. I never worked with her. That's subjective. But you know, some of these big people like the Lee Daniels, and you know, he put the word out like, "Hey, she's difficult." Now, once you say that, that word is a stigma within Hollywood. So once that happens, then that cuts off all the money and stuff. You know,
right? And that's what happened.
Right.
And then you have a recording of Tyler Perry saying that he said it and was disingenuous. So what do we do with that information?
True.
But,
right. And then also too with her
whole life, you know what I mean? With one statement.
True.
Right. Yeah. A lot of damage was done with that one statement. And then going back to her with Precious, it could have all started to fall apart then because for one, Oprah was behind that. And when you tell her no and what you're not going to do, and because you're not being paid, look at the history. I've been to everything Oprah's attached to turns to crap. Something always happens about with the actors and stuff that she is associated with. So I think once she said, no, I'm not going to promote this without getting paid. I'm not traveling all across the country and you're not going to pay me. That means she got to pay her own flights and all this other stuff. And you don't want to pay me to go promote this film. I think that's when it went downhill, just like with Taraji. Everything was all cool and fine until Taraji started speaking on that platform she's supposed to be going out promoting the movie, but she telling her story on these platforms while Oprah and the other cast are sitting on that platform. Yeah, Oprah got
Taraji is done.
Taraji's
done.
Yeah,
she just
that's crazy.
Because now they're trying to blame her for the flop of
a movie that we never wanted to see.
When nobody ever wanted to see.
We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna put a toothpick and come right back to that though. But you know, so with all that being said, you know,
guys, 1 second.
All right, do your thing because I'm getting ready to play this clip of DL clapping back at Monique.
It's getting messier and messier. It's almost like Wendy Williams didn't go anywhere. She just got a weight set. And so Monique was on. Every time I see Monique these days, she's on doing some greasy ass video with her and her daddy complaining about something or working out. I don't know nobody that work out that much and gain weight unless every crunch you do has got captain in front of it. But apparently she goes on Club Shay Shay and tells the story about how she came on my radio show and I wasn't there at the time. And my co-host Jasmine Sanders played a game that we played all the time with everybody called Would You Rather. She apparently was so offended by that she said she got off. She called me. Monique did, and she said I was very dismissive, like, Monique's a liar. When Monique did call me, I heard her complaints. I listened to her and I pulled the segment. So if I had been as dismissive as she alleges I was, that segment would have aired. It didn't because I respected her wishes. She's a liar. It's also befuddles the shit out of me how somebody who has a comedian talks as much shit about everybody else as she does. She has the temerity to be offended about anything as much shit as you say about people. Then she encouraged everybody, allegedly it stems from the fact that I used to always talk shit about her on video after video, and she encouraged her sweet babies to look at the video and find them. Do that. Do exactly what she says. And you know what you're not going to find? You're not going to find any evidence of that because Monique is a liar. She's lying about that. But what you will find is Monique talking shit about some alleged contract dispute we had. Look at the ticket. It says D.L. Hughley, then Monique. She knows the story. But what she did in response to that, she talked about my dog, my wife. This broad even bought out my daughter's personal trauma. My daughter was and Monique bought that shit out and told the world that I allowed my daughter to be raped in front of me. The lying motherfucker. She knows she was lying. And it only stopped when everybody from my family checked her. It's interesting. You know what else you won't see Monique doing? You won't ever see her with her family, videos with her children or grandchildren, because nobody with me. How do you have sweet babies when your own babies are with you? How do you love us for real when there's no evidence of anybody loving you for real, except your daddy, who you apparently have to pay? And FYI, daughters are paid for by daddies, not daddies who get paid by their daughters. You know what else you won't see Monique doing? Telling jokes. Monique, if she'd have spent as much time actually writing jokes and writing her Netflix special as she did complaining about not having one, it wouldn't have been trash. It got the worst reviews of any Netflix special in history. Because that's what Monique does. She complains and she has grievances. You never see her being a human being. You never see her being sweet and warm to people, except when she's using it to butter somebody up to get something. There's a reason why everywhere she goes, shit starts. Everywhere she goes. How is it that nobody fucks with you, not even your family? How do you, I was on the road, get it. I get it every goddamn week. Look at my schedule versus yours. See how much I'm going. And I still manage to have a relationship that I cherish with my children. Can you say the same? You can't. Because all you do is talk about your grievances and who did you wrong. There's a reason you're by yourself. There's a reason you got to pay a man to love you. It's sad. There's an old adage that says you can't buy love. It's a shame, Monique, that you probably always will have to.
Well,
Oh,
damn. Hot damn.
Just saying. That was personal.
Definitely was funny.
He said the only crunch you do is with a captain in front of you. Even Monique had to say, like, hey, that was funny. Monique was like, yo, that was a good one. That was a good one. She's like, yeah, I do, because I'm a snacker, you know. Man. There's a lot of truth to what he said.
Is there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Perla. He went all the way in.
That was the most I've ever seen.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Wow.
You guys are all speechless over here.
Hey, well, because I believe people's responses show their true character more than the person that they're talking about.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that you led off your statement with jokes about how she's fat and nobody's ever gonna love her and things of that nature, and you know, Captain Crunch, mind you, it was all funny. It was funny as hell. Like I love jokes. There was some good ass jokes. But to defend yourself, you start off your statement demoralizing somebody when you are upset about a statement they made about you. Mind you, you told the story about your daughter in front of the woman. And I think that's the part that most people forget when they're in the industry, so to speak, is the fact that once you put this information out there, this is public record now. Like, we all get to use it.
Right.
She didn't. It's not like Monique was talking to your daughter on the sidelines and they had a girl-to-girl kumbaya moment. You said this on your radio show, that your daughter came to you and told you she was molested and you didn't believe her. And it happened to be somebody that you were very close with. And you felt like shit because you didn't believe her at first. You said that, sir. So when somebody brings that back up, you bombs over Baghdad because they called you your bluff. I mean, that's just how I feel about it. Now, was it funny? It was funny as hell, but it spoke to your character, because I feel like people think D.L. Hewley is this moral compass in the comedy world. Like he speaks the truth of Black people in general, because he has a platform to do so. And I think he just threw all that away with the way he responded to that.
Right.
Can't really tell me
I
shit
agree
else.
with that 100%. Yeah, because when he first came out, I'm like, the flat jokes. And then that's what she said. She said, you know, that she was already discriminated against about her weight and everything else. And then that's the first thing that come out your mouth. Yeah, the jokes might have been kind of funny, but I was already like, damn, did you have to go there? Knowing that she already said she had a problem with her weight and stuff since she was little. So that to me was like, it didn't have to happen to get your point across. You could have just said what you needed to say without trying to insult her. And then the thing about his daughter, okay, yeah, it might not have happened right in front of you, but technically it happened on your watch, because your daughter told you what was going on and you did not believe her. So I can see how it might be like, oh, it happened right in front of you, but it wasn't technically you watching it happen. But you did, low-key, kept watching it happen because she told you, and you told her you didn't believe her. And I'm saying this coming from somebody who has been. If somebody comes and tells you, you don't brush that away because you didn't see. There's no, oh, my homeboy would never do that. You know what he would do in the right situation? when you're not there. You have no clue what might happen. So if your child comes to you and tells you, like, you really need to believe her. So don't get mad when, like Quest said, he said it. She didn't go dig in. This was not a private conversation between his daughter and Monique. So you shouldn't be putting stuff out there that you don't want to come back. And I read the comments under that post, and boy, people were bringing it up that, sir, you the one that was told that your daughter was being molested and you did not believe her. They ripping him apart on that, and he going in on them. So, like we always say, hit dogs will holler. This is what I'm getting from it right now, that hit dogs are hollering. That's how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we first off, before we get started, what's up, Toes? What's up, T?
What's good? What's good?
Now,
Yes,
here's
so
the thing,
glad
T.
you're here, sir.
Yeah, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. About time, Melvin. About time. And T, welcome.
Yeah.
So, Tisha, I agree with you. I hear what you're saying on the part about the molestation part. I 100% agree, wholeheartedly. But the fact that there's a key element that people keep missing. It's not like DL just came out of the woodworks and started just throwing bombs at her. You know what I'm saying? He again was attacked. This is something that she did. And then again, she came on Shay Shay talking more shit. But she had already talked more shit before. So on top of that, too, she did it on a comedy special. Oh, remember that whole ticket fiasco? She went on the stage in Detroit and talked so much shit about him. So again, it's kind of like what he said before. You throw rocks and then you hide your hand and you want to play and play victim after when you done threw the first punch. So you can't cry when motherfuckers start swinging back at you because you started this shit.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. 100%. We all know Monique starts shit. That is genuinely accepted by everybody. Monique's always in shit. Nobody can say no. Monique. You don't think she's always have a problem whether she's in the right
always
or wrong?
is always a problem with me because that means all the time. Always means it happens every day.
When we're just talking, when we're talking generally and not specifically or in general papers or
you can be like most of the time, a lot of the time.
Well, in common discussions, in normal discourse, without a debate or without factual information, we can use all the time, because most of this is all hyperbole and bullshit anyway. But besides that point, what I'm saying is Monique, most of the time, a lot of the time, she's in beef, whether right or wrong. That is generally accepted. There is always a beef, not always, there is a lot of beef she has with different people. So, and most of the time she starts it. She's a comedian. Rightfully so. She needs fucking material, so she starts beefs. But she'll call out. We don't know. Like, we're taking all that she says as fact. We don't know half the situation, the true situation. We don't know. We're just saying, okay.
Two-pick real quick. Two-pick, can you get right back to your point?
Go ahead.
Because, I mean, I've seen the comedy special. You skinny bitches don't do you skinny bitch. You skinny. I mean, she throws it around. So you talking about she's insecure about her weight. Yeah, maybe that might be a defense mechanism, but she's throwing these darts out too. So you can't sit up there and say, hey, oh, it hurts my feelings or I have problems and I'm big and fat. When nigga, you just sat up there and talked about them being skinny. Well, you don't know if they're anorexic or bulimic. You just went on them.
But let's go back to when that was going on, when a lot of big girls were being degraded and insulted because of their weight. That was comedy to kind of help boost up the big girl. So and what does her comments have to do with how he responded? He's a grown ass man. I didn't see her calling him Chester Cheetah and all this other stuff because that's exactly who his ass looks like.
It's all but now we got Lizzo. Now we got Lizzo. So all that hyping up.
If she says something about,
now we got Lizzo.
But I'm saying you got to check it out at the back of the time that comedy special came out. I was a big girl at that time too, so that she has to do stuff. That was a way to. Doesn't matter. And if it was 2 years, why are you bringing it up again?
Because it's relevant to the point when she brought it up in Cat Williams. She went up on Shay Shay. Nobody cares about what Monique has to say. Honestly,
obviously people do.
Questions.
Well, only people care about her because people care about her because Cat Williams mentioned her. Before Cat Williams' interview, who was asking about Monique? Be honest. I'll wait.
Who was asking?
How do we know?
You know what? 50
I was
Cent.
asking about DL Hughley before this.
50 Cent. No, I like DL.
I've been following DL forever. I've been following his shows.
That's you. That's you.
I
Me and
follow
his
him.
millions of followers.
But Melvin, the one person who I say was keeping her from being irrelevant was 50. 50 saw what was going on, especially how people weren't really effing with her. So he said, all right, you know what? No, I went to a comedy show. Monique is freaking hilarious, which I think he was probably, hey, personal opinion, subjective. But he said, you know what, I'm gonna work with her, and he put her in BMF. You know what I'm saying? He gave her a job opportunity when her stuff was cold.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But
is DL Hughley funny?
Yeah, he's fucking funny as shit.
All that funny either.
Bullshit.
I think he's funny as hell. I think
he ain't as funny as Bernie Mac. He ain't as funny as Bernie Mac or Cat Williams.
You can't compare the
two. Is not funny.
DL is funny.
To get on stage right now is not funny.
Honestly, my opinion is Dave Chappelle's not that funny either.
Today, how many of you guys will watch it? Let's just
I watched all his specials.
I watched.
People would tune into the special and think you would die of laughter. Watch.
I'm not gonna die of laughter. I'm gonna chuckle, but I'm gonna watch it. I like DL Hughley.
I would watch his special over Dave Chappelle's special.
I wouldn't watch his special over Dave Chappelle. Like that, I'm not going to.
I don't even really find Dave Chappelle that funny. I don't find.
Oh no,
Dave Chappelle. For you to be, time out. Hold on.
Hey, you must have stuck on the fungal toe.
Listen, hold on, third. I got this. For you to be a Dave Chappelle stunt double, the fact that you just said that DL Hughley is funnier than Dave Chappelle, I know you lying.
No, I didn't say he was funnier. I said I would rather watch.
I can't take you serious no more. You just
I didn't say he was funnier. I said the material. I would rather watch DL's material more.
Since when?
Since
I know
forever.
you're trolling now.
No, if you go on his Instagram now, just go on his Instagram with your phone, you'll see all my likes down his damn page because I follow him that much. Because he talks about current events. He doesn't hold it up. He's there and he's part of the community. When Dave Chappelle comes out, Dave Chappelle comes out after a whole bunch of shit.
No,
after
yes, I'm about to drive to where you're at right now. This is incredible.
So when does Dave Chappelle speak when he doesn't have a special? When does Dave Chappelle speak if he doesn't have a special?
Dave Chappelle is smart enough to know that you're going to pay me to talk.
So if he's the scholar for the black community, he's only smart enough to make money when it's convenient for him. If he's this black scholar, because everybody keeps talking about he's for the cause, he's for the culture.
I never said
but
that.
So many people say that. So many. I've heard on this podcast that he's for the cause and he's for the culture.
From who?
Hey T, make sure you got your camera on and we'll put you on.
I heard it.
First off, hold on a second, let me put on my cape real quick. I got this.
I just want to make sure
go ahead to the rescue. Go ahead to the rescue. Hold up, you mother freaking.
Put your handyman cape on. Go ahead. I'll wait.
I'll get ready to do it too. You're not about to get us canceled.
Go ahead. J5. Go ahead. Put your cape on.
It's the Blank Man cape.
Put your cape on.
You
go ahead.
Blank Man. Yep.
Go ahead. Put your cape on. I'll wait.
Yeah, with the Blank Man cape. J5.
Go ahead.
You mad because you probably sucked on a toe that had athlete's foot, all types of fungi and whatnot. That's what I'm see right now.
That's how I get my special power. All right.
Bro,
first off, Dave Chappelle has two. He come from a scholar family. Now the thing, if you're not liking Dave Chappelle,
if he comes from a scholar
family, not liking, and I'm not going to say you because you're highly intelligent, but Dave Chappelle appears to a crowd that has highly intelligence. This dude is smart and he's brilliant within his comedy.
He's a master of his craft. We agree.
He is beyond genius. Yeah, I think he's the GOAT. Now, to say that DL Hughley, you watch DL Hughley over Dave Chappelle, you got to be out of your freaking mind. Go get some Listerine and gargle out that fungi from your breath.
Tell me where Dave Chappelle posts on current events, current situations. When do you hear Dave Chappelle's name on a Netflix special? I can go on DL's Hughley fucking Instagram and he's talking about current current events,
So
current
because
I see your point.
policies,
current
policies that are
Well,
affecting
maybe
our
social
community.
media is not
hold
his
on.
thing.
Your
but
proximity to access does not make him better. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Your proximity to
but
have
for the
access
community, it does.
But we're talking about this man is for the community, and he just beat the shit out of this black woman on a social network platform and degraded her to
We can't sit
he
here
beat
and
her?
act like all black women are the same. We can't act like all black women are the same.
Sweating, but you still gain weight. And like
he's a comedian.
Bro,
how much shit has Dave Chappelle said about people? How much shit has Dave Chappelle said about a whole class of community of people?
He didn't single anybody out.
He punches down to them.
He doesn't punch
down to them.
Hey, Melvin, hold on.
He punches down.
This
Dave
is the
Chappelle
problem.
punches down.
For you as a man, that's like me coming on here. There's plenty of people I could beat up on this podcast, and I've had plenty of opportunities to do so. But you know what I'm saying? The fact that I'm a grown-ass man, it is besides the point that I can do it. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't do it because it says so much more about me and me.
But that goes
intelligence to turn around and beat on somebody.
You'll get your issue.
Just because I know I can. That is highly unnecessary. And like I said earlier, for him to be the moral compass of the black community, that's why I'm so glad you came up here with your argument, because now we're using him as a moral and political compass for the black community in terms of comedians. That's what his position is. And then you turn around and you just negated all of that with how you responded to how somebody said something about you. You could have went on about your life. You could have came on and said, no, Monique is lying. Here's the proof. I did woo, 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 woo. You didn't have to go into all the extra shit. You didn't have to caveat to belittling and trying to beat her head in comedically in front of the world to prove your point. If you're the moral compass, that's all I'm saying.
Because I love you.
He may be right. But
I love you, but you're expecting him to be Martin Luther King in his response. He is not Jonathan Majors.
No,
and sometimes you gotta fight fire with fire.
Sometimes you gotta fight fire with fire. Be a grown-ass fucking man. That's like me getting on here and talking shit to Jess just because I disagree with her, and I talk about her hair, and I talk about her kids, and I talk about her dating you, and you're only 77% black, and that's unfucking necessary, bro.
No, but
it's unnecessary.
I get what you're saying, Quez.
That's all I'm saying.
But you know she's going to respond back, and she's going to clap back at you.
I get what you're saying. 100%.
Okay, go ahead. The Quez.
What does it say about me?
Quez, I'll get back to you. Quez,
okay.
Go ahead.
I get what you're saying 100%, Quez. I agree. On a normal conversation, your profession is not, you're not a fucking comedian. So I'm not expecting you to make jokes of a situation. Dave Chappelle is a comedian. D.L. Hughley is a fucking comedian. Cat Williams is a comedian. Monique is a comedian. They are all on the same level. That is their profession. That is their fucking profession. That is their master class. So he is showing a master class of how he can break her down, making it funny. Her appealing to being, oh, well, all my babies and Monique, stop fucking that. That's bullshit. Anybody that didn't see through that is fucking, oh my baby. But like you said, Quest, she's like, those fucking skinny bitches, where was that energy? Now that you're babies, make it make sense. Now that you're skinny fucking babies, right? So,
but it's so funny to me because the skinny bitches was laughing at that stuff too. So I don't understand. But I saw her and I've been there.
And then the fat bitches was laughing at the Captain Crunch joke too. She laughed at it too.
Because it's funny. It's that. But what my point is, she was using that as a comedic effort, and we all took it as funny. We weren't taking it serious. She's using that as comedy. So Dave Chappelle.
That man was hurt when he felt.
Well, of course, because how many times is he gonna?
That man was in his feelings.
How many times is he gonna let Monique?
That man was in his feelings, and he was emotionally unintelligent, and he made a video.
I disagree with the emotionally unintelligent part.
My family, Like you just flexed on the female talking about, yeah, my family had to check her.
But they all did though. They all did, especially the daughter that got molested. She had to clap back at her too.
But I'm just
so hold on.
Hold
on a sec, y'all. Hold on a sec.
There's a certain low, Quest.
Hold on a sec, y'all. Hold on a sec. T, can you hear me? Mic check. You've been quiet. You've been patiently waiting.
No offense, but y'all talking over each other. I can barely understand what anybody's saying. So I just stayed back so I could try to listen.
I'm trying to moderate it. Hey, leave me alone. I got incredible hope in my system. I'm trying. But you can't control niggas. They wild out here, man.
I'm already knowing how fam gets down, so it's all good.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I'm liking it.
But
that's why Monster kicked them off the ship, because they don't know how to act. You see what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh.
No, go ahead, drop your 3 cents real quick,
Mine, Lord Jesus. I watched the whole thing. I don't even know what to say. Like, there's certain things that I do agree with when it comes down to Monique. I understand there's a lot of shit that she's been dealing with and from previous times. And of course, not everybody does it, but some people grow. And of course, like you guys said, when she was calling them skinny bitches, I didn't hear it recently. Yes, it was back in her past. So people change. But at the same time, I feel like when it came down to DL, there could have been other ways that he could have addressed how he wanted to address. He is a comedian. That shit was funny. But at the same time, I don't feel DL like that. I've seen him multiple times. I'm just not, I would see other comedians before I would see him. But the way he comes and says something about his daughter, because I was driving, I just, like, you put it out there. Monique was only commenting or doing whatever she had to do. So, like, you put it out there, you didn't believe her, and like everybody had already addressed, there is no way in hell that my child will come to me and say any of that, and I'm automatically not gonna do nothing. You got me all the way fucked up. Tell me exactly where they live. We go, guns are blazing. I don't give a fuck. We about to figure out what's going on. Period, point blank and simple. And for you to sit here and address it on his podcast, and you literally just told the world that you did not believe her, what the fuck did you expect anybody else to say? I mean, so I don't believe, that's just me, but I don't believe.
She used it as a punchline. She used it as a punchline to be funny, or to try to drag him down. So again, that's the thing that people keep trying to miss. So that's like,
I don't miss that either. But at the same time, he was correct.
So Tish, that's like somebody, because again, you've been on this platform and you talked about your experiences. That's like somebody who dislikes you or is trying to get a reaction out of you or they're trying to make you feel low, taking one of your experiences and say, well, hey, if you would have just kept your legs closed, if they said something stupid like that, I'm pretty sure that you would clap back. So again, it didn't need to be had with certain things. And but I'm saying you know how to counter that shit.
To know those certain things, and you don't put it out there for the public to go back and find it.
And I agree.
That's what it is. And I'm the person I am now.
I'm pretty sure
I am not gonna take. That's fine. If they share it and they feel that way, myself right now, my truth, what another person says who don't knows a damn about me is not going to affect me to a point where it's going to break me. I've already been broken low by going through the experience. I can't keep staying at that low. I need to keep staying on my high, or I'm going to go all the way back to that depressed girl who was holding it in all that time and not telling nobody about it.
And that's so the guy. But if somebody's using your trauma as a punchline, if somebody's using your trauma as a punchline, especially
if you got to use me.
And so
if you got to use me for clout, go ahead and feel free to do so. I'm not about to come at you like that.
Okay, I hope you hit them in their throat, because next time that they trying to open up and try to say something, then they remember that hitting the throat, and especially if you're attacking somebody's kid.
But it also makes me look bad. But it also makes me look bad as a business owner, as a person who is a empowerment coach. It makes me look bad all around to where it can affect other things just from my response. So I have to sit back and think, what is my response going to do for me? I can care less what it does for that person, because I can still chew them up and beat them up, and guess what? They can come back the next day and say more stuff. But how I look in the eyes of those that I'm trying to reach, that's more important to me. That's what I was meaning to say when he said he didn't have to try to cut her low like that, because at the end of the day, a lot of people saw him at a low, not her at a low. I read every single damn 1,000 comment that was going through there, and he was being ripped up by his followers. So you have to kind of be careful how you portray yourself out here, so that way you're not looking all the way crazy, especially if you're trying to build businesses and you're trying to, building empowerment for other people and things like that. Ain't nobody gonna want to do business with me if they think they say one thing wrong to me. I'm gonna punch them in their throat.
Right.
No, it's not. But just know I might do it. I'm just kidding.
But it's a story.
Hey, any real nigga would not be mad if you did. That's what I'm saying. You went on that whole soliloquy about being Dr. Martin Luther Karate Scott King.
I want to know
get
what
it,
the
but
punchline was. Third, what was the punchline that she used?
the punchline was her basically trying to say that he was a coward for some, and dragging that. He said something about his wife. I hate about the wife giving fellatio on him. She giving fellatio to a coward, and this, and that. I mean, she brought up the whole family. He wasn't lying when she said she literally brought up the dog. She talked a whole lot of shit, man.
No, that's dark.
And
she talked a whole lot of shit. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. She's free to say whatever the fuck she wants. Okay. But then there's consequences and repercussions to that. So if somebody claps back at you, then this is what needs to be had. You started this shit. So yeah, you can be classy like how Tisha's saying, or then you might get caught out there slipping if somebody knock you in your throat. Two things can be true, and you got to be prepared for both of them. You can't sit up here crying when someone starts clapping back at you and playing victim. Nah, nigga, you said the shit. You know what I'm saying? So you started it.
I totally agree with you, sir. But I think where we're getting lost with this message is the fact that she called out something that he brought to the table, and then you poke her. We can't keep going back and forth and changing the narrative and moving goalposts. That's what we're doing. You guys are moving goalposts. Oh, she shouldn't have said it in her special. What did he say before that? We're not talking about the comments he made after the Oprah special. You know what I'm saying? We're not.
I need to see those. Like you said, I'm sorry, I didn't see those.
How long ago was that? How long ago?
Doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Apparently, how far
So you waited 10 years? You waited 10 years to have a comment on that? You wait 10 years to have a comment.
If you punched me 20 years ago back in high school and I never got my lick back, bro, I'm coming for my lick back. You know what I'm saying?
But that goes against
well, you at least suspect that bitch.
I'm not mad at you about that one. I'm not mad at you about that one, Claire.
On when I get my lick back. That's none of your concern. If I gotta wait till we 66 and you in the wheelchair and I just happen to be in a walker and I'm standing up, I'm getting my lick back, bro.
I disagree.
Give them how long ago it was, me personally, so I'm getting my lick back. You can't say how long ago was that, because obviously we gonna negate because he said it 10 years ago. Now his point don't count, and we got to talk about from where she said it here. No, bro.
No.
Hey, Melvin. I love you, Melvin. But I'm Petty Murphy over here, so I gotta agree with Quez on that one. If I gotta wait 20-some years, I'm gonna get my lick back. I'm gonna get my lick back.
That's something he gotta ask himself.
That's the point. That's the point. At what point, if I go and I bust somebody up, am I willing to lose my job, my family, my freedom? For what? This person that's a fucking bum? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Ask yourself that. Are you willing to give up your? Are you potentially get sued and lose your business and everything you established and the whole identity you created now as a mentor, as a great person, as a father? You're gonna throw that way to be Marquez the Thug. Are you really going to do that?
I'm not. You took it in the literal.
No, but that's what you said. You said I'm going to get my lick back, and I just gave you the scenario.
I'm not going to record
Everything is recorded now. Every fucking thing. You walk down the street, you got 10 ring doorbells following you. You walk down the street, 10 ring doorbells are following you. Everything is recorded.
Melvin, all I'm saying is that was the comparison, right?
Yeah.
You can't keep moving the goalposts. What happened with DL, like you just said, me personally, I'm not gonna go out here and fight nobody.
I know.
And risk, everything that I have going on.
But they let it die.
It's not worth it. But what DL just did was put him in a different light in the opinion, thoughts, and views of me as an individual, because I definitely respected DL before all of this transpired. And like you said, he has a great political stance, and I listen to a lot of his stuff on YouTube and social media, little clips that I see. Sometimes he be spot on, sometimes I don't agree, but I've never taken it as he's a shitty individual until the other day. I thought
I understand that.
In the way that he responded to that woman, and that's all I'm saying.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. That would shift a lot of perspective. That shifts a lot of perspective. My thing is, when it comes to a personal matter like that, and it's already died, why are they rehashing everything again and again and again?
I see your point.
We have how many points now where we can go back and Google, well, Monique said this, DL said this. They said this 4 times. They said this 3 times. They brought this up. How much more fucking clarification do we need? Monique went on there to bring more shit up. And she didn't make apologies. She didn't make amends. And like I said before, she got in a fight with Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry, fucking
Lee Daniels came out and
Tiffany
apologized to her.
Tiffany had, well, just because you apologize don't mean you were fucking wrong.
Facts.
Sometimes you just want to end the fucking feud. After 13 years, I think he just wants to get over the whole fucking fact. So again, Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, Tiffany Haddish, the list go now, DL Hughley, and there's several more people that go down the fucking list. That the list is longer than her Netflix special fucking or her career or her achievements. It really is. What are we talking about? Precious from fucking 15 years ago? We don't even know her name. We know Precious, the movie. We know Precious, the character. We don't know who the fuck Monique was. And all we remember from that was she played a good bitch because that's her real person. She tapped into that. She was so good at being a fucking monster that it won an award because we can see her at the fucking monster that she is.
Oh my God.
Man, mic drop. So we're going to wrap this one. God, dang, that was some bars. There was some truth.
Bullshit.
There was some truth.
Go ahead.
Now we wrapping this up. So
go ahead.
The one thing I'm gonna say about DL and that Captain Crunch line, General Mills need to pay him some money because I went out and got some Captain Crunch yesterday. I got some Captain Crunch. I got some Crunch berries because of DL Hughley yesterday.
That was the first time I saw it, and it was funny.
It's in the cabinet.
It was hilarious.
I'm gonna wait to this Incredible Hulk get out of my system, and I'm gonna have me some Crunch berries in the morning. Thank you, DL, for reminding me how delicious that cereal is.
I think they just need to end the beat.
Mouth gonna be toe up too. You're too old.
Right, the roof of your mouth.
Why are you speaking all this negativity? Just because you got 85% all these negativity.
You got weak gums. You got weak gums.
Yes.
Your teeth barely pulling off. You got weak gums.
You gonna pick up that raisin bran and sit down somewhere.
You go get a cavity. You got weak gums. Better sit down.
Once this Incredible Hulk get out of my system, it's only cracking.
Better brush with extra fluoride. You better brush with extra fluoride over there.
I know you ain't talking fungi toe eating ass dude.
Hey, a dog gotta eat.
What's in your eyeball?
Different strokes for different folks.
What is that in your eye? Come here.
Come
here.
Yeah,
I know. Oh, yeah. We under production.
Different strokes, like Drake.
All right, y'all. So we can agree to disagree. Oh, this dude, I caught that. You nasty mother sucker.
I ain't looking up the video. I ain't looking up the video, but
no, I ain't. I refuse.
Yeah, I don't even need to know.
I don't even need to know. I don't even need to know.
Somebody
anyway,
said look like Gumby.
We can go ahead and we can agree to disagree. Hold on a sec, y'all.
Somebody said look like Gumby out there. Go string, you know those car.
Sir, stop. Stop, sir. Stop.
Mute. Everybody talking there. This ghettoest Brady Bunch thing I've ever seen. Ghetto ass Hollywood square ass shit. It's some nasty ass shit.
Gosh.
Oh, nasty mother suckers.
Look, don't be
man.
muting people mics while you talking.
Hey, you hush.
Yes.
Put some grass in your mouth and hush.
Nasty.
Hey, eat some bushes and shut the hell up. eat some trees and shut up.
Hey, you gonna leave sis alone, man.
Hey, ain't nobody talking to you, Smoke.
What you say I did in the finale? Yeah, don't make it real life, Shay. That's all I'm saying.
Fix those glasses real quick. Hey, so yeah, we can agree to disagree with this whole Monique thing. We can revisit this at a later date, but it's gone on longer than
I
it
think
needs
there'll
to.
be some more to come out. So
There'll definitely be some more to come
Yeah.
out. It's the thing that keeps on giving with this shit. So yeah, shout out to Monique. Even though I personally I'm not a fan, you know what I mean, but there's some truth to what you said. I don't agree with everything. Shout out to D.L. Hughley. I'm a huge supporter. I go see Chappelle before I see you, but you still funny. You know, I don't know what Melvin's talking.
Nah,
But
because
anyway. But yeah, it's
I was gonna say third
preference.
I was gonna say about Shay Shay. There's rumors that that he may be Medea, and that was I don't know if you guys saw all those rumors.
Nah, he ain't coming. He ain't coming.
No. They're saying that Shay,
yeah, they say
he is the real life Medea.
Yeah. What does that have to do with anything? I don't care. I mean,
well, we're
maybe
talking about Club Shay Shay being the center point for all this drama now between Kat, Monique, Steve. All of them went on the same thing. He's the common denominator because when Steve went on there,
you can't do that.
No, I didn't say it's his fault. I'm just saying that they all went there, and now that once Steve went there, then Kat went there, and then once Kat went there, Monique went there, and so
Monique don't do anything original. Kat Williams went on there. She did. Steve do Kings. She don't do nothing original, but whatever. Anyway, we're gonna move along.
The way y'all done that is ridiculous.
Oh shit.
Whatever. I said what the fuck I said. So anyway, so in other Negro news, there's a guy named Lil Jody, from Baby Boy. He made a comment recently that have everybody all up in arms. We're gonna play. I'm gonna play you what he said, and we're gonna talk on it because it's something that Quez feels strongly about it, and this is his cousin right here.
Oh my god.
Tyrese says sometimes he wishes that he was born Latino. Quote from Tyrese: "Sometimes I wish I was born Latino. I mean, Latin community is grounded in family, loyal entrepreneurs, businessmen, and women literally represent the dream, the grind, the hustle, doing whatever it takes to stick together against all odds." End quote.
All right, but I don't fault the man. I just
we gonna get you a job at Fox News third because the way you label these stories,
I'm saying
I know.
have a whole news
You put so much spin.
I'm gonna call them in the morning.
Don't put me on Fox News.
English on that.
Don't put me on Fox News because what they gonna do is put me next to Candace Owens, and I don't want to be next to that raccoon at all. Period.
I'll let y'all go. Don't let me. I just want to see how everybody.
I'll set it off funky. I ain't scared. Now, so I've said it before in private conversations. I see both sides of the coin of what Tyrese is saying. There's some parts where I agree and some parts where I disagree. I agree that there definitely needs to be more unity amongst our community. I don't necessarily think that I would want to be born something else other than what I am because I was taught to accept, embrace, and love who and what I am. But I can see what he's saying when I go into different communities. Like I was telling Quez, I can go into West Covina or different parts of California, and you can see that there's an Asia town, a Korea town, you got Little Italy, or you got a Jewish community in Loma Linda, people pulling together, putting their dollars together, resources. They got banks, they got stores, they got the dollars circulating amongst themselves before the government even touches it. And the simple thing is that back in the day, we used to have stuff like that. We used to have communities. I'm from San Bernardino, so is Jess. We're from San Bernardino. And once upon a time, San Bernardino had black dollars circulating amongst its community. You had liquor stores, you had barber shops, newspapers. You had we had black beauty pageants. There was so much black pride within our community to where now we don't see hardly any of that. We see.
Yeah, you guys set up Little Kenya.
What?
Well, first,
Little Africa.
First off, Little Africa is a project in San Bernardino.
Africa is a continent, and I was just saying one country. We don't say Little Europe,
But
Little
we
South
have
Asia.
To that
So
point, though,
again,
we
hold
have
up.
to be honest
I
with
was
y'all.
saying something before I got so really interrupted.
My bad.
By the non-nigga. he got imported here, so I'm just.
Jesus.
Damn.
He got imported here like white Hennessy, but I was saying just.
And our ancestors did it.
Anyway, so before she gets
back up, Jess.
Go ahead, man. Let him get it out, Jess. Don't
Everybody
say
gonna keep interrupting me. I'm gonna start muting and plugging microphones and shit.
Go ahead.
So
let
again,
him get it. Go ahead.
so once upon a time. So again, now we're seeing our stores, we're seeing our community being overrun by other races.
Once upon a time, sir. You can't start with once upon a time, sir. This is not my motherfucking dream work production. We just talking about people. Stop it. Come on. Let's try that again. Go ahead. This time. Go. 3, 2,
I don't like
1.
Ronnie Mathis. So like I was saying, I was so really interrupted by this 85% clown.
More than you, sir. Definitely more than you.
Now, again, so we no longer see some of these businesses that are black owned no more. You know, the stores that I used to love to frequent, I don't see black faces in there no more. And my consensus, and I think Jess feels it, is that some of these people have gotten their dollars, they sold their businesses, and they left. So they're living off of that, and they no longer see black community no more. Now they have Mexicans running it. You have Asians, you have Arabs, anything else but other than us. And even when the little that we do have, you don't necessarily see people sticking together no more. So I understand what he's saying amongst that. I just don't agree with trying to be born some other than what I am. I look for ways of trying to remedy that. But, you know, that's just me, and that's how I feel about it. So,
all right.
We all moved to Texas and Georgia.
I think he has. I agree with Third and with Tyrese. There's some truth to it, as well as like you gotta be proud of where you're from and who you are. But when you look at like a cultural aspect, like there are like for us here, especially family is everything, but that's not the same culture for a lot of black people. Like LT family's everything, Third family's everything. Quez is a family man. I'm a family man. And we all know the princess, birthday girl, is definitely absorbed with her cult family. No offense. I'm just playing.
I didn't know you were talking.
See, that's when you punch somebody in the throat.
I'm just playing, Adoration. I'm just playing.
Oh, no, it's okay.
I'm just playing. But I'm just playing, Adoration. I'm just playing. You have a very tight-knit family and a very good family that puts a lot of education first. But a lot of people don't have that aspect in the black community. A lot of people, we hear you got to be a strong black man, you got to be a strong black woman, and they push the independence aspect. And in a lot of other cultures, like Third brought up Asian culture, you'll see grandmama and the grandparents and everybody live together in the tight-knit family. In the Mexican community, or the Latin community, you'll see the parents stay together, married. They can hate each other, want to kill each other. They're married with 4 kids, 5 kids, all in the same damn house, and they're all grown, and they're all compiling their money and starting their own business and hiring each other. And we see that. We talked about it before in the Jewish community. We see that, but it's not as much deeply in the black community. And I don't know if he's talking about the family values in the Latin community, like, because Tyrese just got divorced. We all know that. Like I just said, they stick together no matter what, because they're the deep Catholicism. We're not going to get separated. I know that grandpa cheats and all that shit, but they're still married and they're still doing all this stuff together. They stay together, as toxic as that may be, but that is how a lot of people build success, because they're all compiling everything together, and then they all go and do their own thing, but they're still tight knit. That's not what we do. We just fucking 40 baby mamas.
Okay, can I say something really quick?
Go ahead, Adoration.
This narrative, and this
Go ahead, cult leader.
Here's the thing. okay, let's start with Melvin. Just said everything he said, and it was correct as far as how other people go through this shit and live these type of lives. I've lived around a lot of them. But I want to say something about the Black community in particular. We have to remember that we have been and are still under attack. And that's just coming from reality. We have to remember that, because the problem is, I feel like I always hear Black people talk, oh, we don't do this. But it's like we act like, it goes back into the whole single mother thing. We act like a lot of the single mothers are not single because the country makes sure that their family's already stabilized. A lot of Black men are thrown in jail. We act like America doesn't have the biggest in the entire world. I'm talking India. I'm talking China. I'm talking about BRIC nations. We got the highest incarceration population. And we know, okay, I'm a Black woman, so I know that Black people are the ones targeted to the jail. So our jail is nearly full with Black men. And we act like those are not the children's fathers. And we act like those Black men usually, a lot of times, are not thrown in jail for no reason compared to their white counterparts. And so we say, oh, Black, you don't have anything. Black Wall Street was a thing. They burned it to the ground.
Of course.
Black people tried.
Why not say Melvin, let her talk.
Redlining is a thing. Redlining is a thing. Does everybody know what that means? Where they make sure that we're not able to get housing.
We're a little older than you. We know what that is.
Okay, I'm just making sure so that I don't sound stupid, but it's a thing. There's a couple, they literally took all the white pictures out of their house because they were an interracial couple. They got an appraisal. That was half of what they got when they took all the Black pictures out of the house. So we know that this is a thing. They're not, so we have to factor that in. We can't just be like, oh, I wish I was somebody else. Oh, let me marry out. Because they're doing better than us. I hear this a lot. It's like, oh, let's marry a white lady or let's marry a white man because they do better than us. But it's like, you can't act like they don't have the advantage. I'm not saying that you can't marry who you want or whatnot, or you can't be, you can say you want to be whatever you want, but we can't act like we're not at a disadvantage. We can't constantly blame ourselves because we're under attack and be like, oh, Black people don't stick together. They do. They do. I'm sorry. Black people do stick together. When I see Black stuff, I stick to it. When I see Black people see stuff, because I'm not in the community, let's be honest, but when I see Black people see stuff, they rush to go be with each other. My little brothers and sisters just moved back to the States for like, they were here for a year or something. And, I heard, oh, Black women are this, Black. My little sister said one thing. She wasn't even trying to go with the narrative. She was just saying, the way the girls will rush around you, make sure your hair is done, make sure you're good. She's saying it's such a loving culture. And we grew up abroad. People are great over here. I'm not saying they're not great, but she's saying it's just different when they're your own people and they support you and they do love you. Now, this is coming from not in the narrative. She wasn't brainwashed into the narrative. Black people don't stick together. Black people don't this. And I feel like it's like
adoration.
Wait, let me say this real quick.
Melvin want to say something. So
let me say real quick. So trust me, I know all the Jim Crow laws and all the things that happen and all the aspects. What I was pointing to was the undeniable fact that the Black community is a consumer community as opposed to establishing businesses. As we spend, so like you just alluded to, Black people will spend tons of money on their hair and white people don't give a shit about their hair. So if a Black woman is spending $400 to get her hair done and a white woman has to spend $50, they're already at a disadvantage. When you put on top of that the disadvantage that we're already at, it adds to it. And then when the culture pushes like, hey, buy this, don't build a business, but do this instead. Look good instead of create, like all the money. A lot of people. Go ahead.
No, I hear what you're saying, but that's a whole nother conversation that has.
But that's part of the problem is consumerism and not being tight knit. It's always a competition. We hear it all the time.
But tight knit has nothing to do with your hair being done.
But it has to do with success.
No, reason why Black people.
Hold on, you guys. Melvin, adoration. Go ahead, Quest.
But now we finna get real gangster with this now. I'm glad adoration kicked it off so that everybody didn't look at me and say,
no, go ahead.
I'm Captain Black. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want that to be the narrative.
I was thinking it.
Bring out the black stick.
I know you was thinking it, but I was trying to get our points across. But she brought us some very good narratives. And to my brother Melvin, like we can't play tit for tat in terms of white women get their hair done too, and they probably pay more than us because what we do in the black community is we know a sister who lives in the projects down the street, and she'll do it for $1.50, or we know such and such.
But we're already at a disadvantage.
But look,
the average income is $100K versus $50K.
We're not supposed to be presentable in public. We're not supposed to be our hair done.
Black people have to be more presentable.
What's wrong with normal natural hair? Normal natural hair.
You would have to ask corporate America. You would have to ask corporate America what's wrong with natural hair because they make
agreed.
That's what we have to do.
They make policies.
So we're playing into the system and then complaining about the system.
Don't try to turn that on us, sir.
No, wait. We play into the system and then we complain about the system. Because I'm saying we have to change the narrative. Hey,
what's wrong with your natural hair?
One at a time. You
can't say what's wrong with wearing your natural hair, and then when you go to work, there's a policy that says you can't wear your natural hair and make money to provide for your family. Those are two very distinct.
What do we do to change that narrative, though? What do we do to change that?
We've been marching,
well, obviously, if we're marching and fighting for 7 years, it don't change.
One at a time. No over talk each other.
This be the problem with the conversation is that it's diluted by that we have the same fair chance that everybody else has.
No, we don't.
And believe you me, I'm not one to play victim, sir.
I know. I agree.
At the end of the day, there is a concerted effort to make sure that we don't get control of industry. If black people are the number one consumers of hair products and weaves and bundles and everything, why does the Asian community have a tight-knit motherfucking rope around the hair community? If you
because black people don't buy from black people.
Listen.
That's not true.
If that was true, then why wouldn't they do it?
I'm going to give you some game. Listen, I'm going to give you some game because me and Denisha have both met with an individual who actually does this and tried to open up their own hair store. You know what I'm saying? Just like you see those big Asian stores where they got boxes and boxes of weaves and stuff in the back, and they can keep their quantity up. When you go, you have to deal with these vendors, right? The vendors come from overseas. There's not a majority of people cutting their hair off over here to sell to be money. So you have to go overseas, right? Who controls that industry? The Asian community controls that industry.
Indians.
If you can't buy in bulk, which most people can't do when they're starting out a business, if you can't order $10,000, $20,000 worth of merchandise right off the bat, they're not fucking with you. What they do is they give their community consignment and you pay on the back end. We're not allowed to do that. So therefore, we can't take over the industry, which we are the largest consumer of. Just like the music industry. We may be one of the biggest producers and consumers of those things, but we start record labels and studios and things like that. But you got to still go through a distribution company, and most of those are not owned by us. They're grandfathered in. So we can't keep saying that the black people should pull themselves up by their bootstraps and not pay attention that the boot's been taken from us, and all we got is shoestrings.
I agree.
And we saying pull yourself up. That's not the same scenario.
I agree, but the point of what I'm saying is, when we look at the Latin community, which Tyrese was talking about, it's totally different than the black community. And what I'm saying is, where are the differences? And I just alluded to some of the differences. And that's the point where he is saying, I'm not saying, everything you said is 100% valid. I did not disagree with one thing you said. But my point is, the culture of what we do is different. We can say, you can honestly say a lot of black people, especially growing up, we will put each other down for the way we look. We do that. But Latin communities, if they all have the same fake Nikes, they don't care. Us, that person, we're gonna strip them down. And I'm being 100%. I was with you in high school, Quest. We made fun of a lot of motherfuckers, but for what the way they dress. So that is real life.
y'all went to high
We
school
made
together.
fun of a
And
lot
guess
of
what?
motherfuckers.
Guess what? I
We
didn't have
crushed a lot
shit.
of souls. We crushed
Look,
a
I
lot of
didn't have
fucking
shit,
souls
so if I
and a
could
lot
do
of
it, everybody can
self-esteem.
do it, sir.
So it is true.
Come on,
Okay, I want to say something right quick.
Go
I
ahead.
want to say something right quick. So my little take on it is I do agree with some of the things that everybody's been saying. It was some things that I've seen. And this is just what I've seen. I can't speak for everybody else, but
Yeah.
this I've seen. So in the Black community, from what I physically seen, like as an example, if I had $5,000 and say Quez had $3,000, he don't want to work with me, or I won't want to work with him because of the fact that he only has $3,000 and he can't match my $5,000. Instead of thinking of the fact that if we put it together, we got $8,000. So a lot of times in the Black community, we look about, oh, well, they're not matching it, this and this and that. But I've noticed when we were trying to do something, I think we were trying to get a supermarket or something like that. It was something that we were talking about doing. And everybody's like, well, what am I going to do if I don't have the $5,000? What if I have the $3,000 or whatever? So no, you got to have this, you got to have that. No, if we put our money together, we going to all combine way more than what we had individually. So people don't really look at that. And I do understand where Tyrese, now I will always stay Black. I always love my culture. We got some issues now, but every culture has issues. But I do like the fact that some things that we can do collectively, we don't do. It's always, oh, well, if you don't have that $5,000, well, then I'm not going to do it. Well, together we have $8,000. So why not? You individually, you only have $4,000, you only have $5,000, but together we got $8,000. So look at the overall picture when it comes down to certain things. We can have stuff like you guys say when we have the Chinatown and this, we can have it if we put our egos to the side for some of this shit and say, let's come together. And it's so hard because I get so many compliments from a lot of races that are not Black. And it's so ridiculous how when you walk down the street, let a female come by and she Black and she looking you up and down like you ain't got no damn sense. But like I can get so many, literally so many compliments from white, Black, non-Black, but white, Hispanic, everything. But when it come down to a Black, let me walk by and I get the snooty, the nose, the this, the that. So our community, for some odd reason, it could be the way we were raised. Everybody's raised differently, but it's just stuff that I've seen. Like for me, I hate it because if I want to say, let's go into a business, let's go into a business. Huh?
Hold up.
You said where she live at.
Hold up.
Where you live at?
Hold up a second, y'all.
Well, I'm just saying overall, like places that I've been. I'm a military child, so I've been everywhere, and I've seen it not only in California, but I have seen it in other places where literally, don't get me wrong, I will have a handful that be like, oh, you look nice, girl. Oh, where you get your hair done, or this and this and that. But other than that, you got the ones that's looking snooty and all kinds of stuff. Like, what did I do?
Competition.
It's
competition.
Yes, correct. And I don't need to be nobody's competition. Let's work together.
Toothpick, real quick. I'm gonna read a comment to let people know that we see him, we hear him. So Alexandria, or shout out Shannon. We were waiting for you so we can continue on with the would you marry a former porn star or high body count? Because I wanted to continue on from the conversation. So we kind of we went into Monique and then now we're on with Tyrese. But Alexandria, we see you. Alexandria says, I think the idea is that Black people work together to build wealth. We are taught to get it our own and not get it together. There aren't a bunch of families living together to help each other get a home and do well. And that was the point that I was getting ready to get into. I was trying to double dutch my way in there. Like, I literally am going to use two personal examples of why I feel like, Tyrese, I understand where he's coming from, because one of the first was I seen a Black family literally get evicted from their home. And it was basically the home was sold from underneath them from one of the aunts or something. Mm-hmm. So as opposed to actually, putting together the money to try to actually save that house, they sold the house, and let alone they kicked the nephew out. Now, the next person that comes in, it gets bought by, some Mexicans. So they come in, they got friends and families who know how to put together a roof. They're building doors, building garage. They refurbish that house. They had it looking great. So then what they do is they put another family in there and they rent to them. And so like what Alexandria is saying is that they'll come together, put those families in there so they can save our resources to where they can go get a house of their own or do X, Y, and Z, and they come together. Now, the thing is like, I feel like that's some of the things that we need to do as a people. But part of the problem is, and I understand where Quez is talking about, was like, we get told to keep pulling it up from our bootstraps. But the thing is that we are trained and conditioned from the days of slavery, from the days of Jim Crow, from the days when we got here, to hate what we look like. And sometimes we carry that disease of, that crab in the barrel disease, and it plagues us. Because again, we could talk about, oh, we do this, and I heard what Adoration said, oh, black people do it, but at the same time, personally, my brother was murdered by his quote unquote friend. You know what I'm saying? Like a dude that they were getting money together. He got jealous, whatever, and he murdered my brother. So yeah, he's sitting in jail, for the murder of my brother. Another black man, two black dudes were trying to come together to try to do something, whether it was right or wrong, on the right or wrong side of the streets. They were doing something to try to come together. Money got in the way, or ego got in the way, and now my brother is not here no more, killed by another black man. So not everybody carries the mentality of trying to, hey, let's elevate and let's help each other. There's people who get jealous and they want to knock you from actually accomplishing something. And that's all that I'm saying is I can see the coin on both sides, where, sometimes it gets frustrating as a black man to see what is going on. But I know what you're getting ready to get at, Quez. And go ahead, Minister Malcolm, Ronnie Masters.
Hey, you call it
I
what
can't
you
even
want
get
to,
it.
sir. You can call it what you want to, sir. But let's be realistic. We're not gonna pretend like black people are only people that murder each other.
No, and I'm not saying that. So again, so it's just,
listen, sir. I let you get your soliloquy out. You know what I'm saying? Give me a moment. We not gonna pretend like the cartel ain't running all these illegal immigrants over here and they killing each other at a mass capacity, but they get along so well and they got so many family values and they do business fair and square, but they provide a majority of the drugs over here to the U.S.
That's Mexico.
Skip past that part. We're gonna skip past that.
That's Mexico.
Don't listen, Melvin. We're gonna skip past that. We're gonna go to little Italy. Like the Italians didn't create organized crime and the mob and the Russians. You know what I'm saying? But these are all the people that we say are the model minorities. And the Yakuza is not running around little Chinatown chopping people's hands off. And you know what I'm saying?
Bloods,
riding
the Crips,
up and down the street and turning into ninjas and shit. We gonna ignore all of that, and we're gonna focus like black people are the only people who can't get along and have these issues that is so polarized. But everybody wants to do everything we fucking do. They all want to be like us. They want to dress like us. They want to talk like us. They want to do everything we do. But our culture is so shitty. But globally,
no, and that's not what we're saying. So we're not saying that us as a culture is shitty. There are some things that we need to work on in order to elevate. We can't go into Little Italy and go tell Stefano, hey, this is what you need to do to stop organized crime. We can't go into Mexico to go tell the cartel. We get our head chopped off too along with them. Right. We can't go into Little Russia and go tell them what. But what we can do is talk to us and hopefully try to educate us and show, hey, this is what we need to do to remedy this to make ourselves better. We could be stronger, because I don't believe in the fact that we hold on, Captain Smoke. I'll let you speak. I don't think that we are necessarily the minority in America, but yet and still, if we got certain things that are keeping us down, or keeping us back, or keeping us from growing, we're going to stay at the 13% that they calculate in America. As a matter of fact, by the year 2100, it's statistically shown that the black population will decrease. And why is that? Because you have diseases, you have people killing each other. So we're just trying to show people it's still sharp and still. So, hey, this is what we need to do to try to elevate as a people. It's not saying that, hey, we're effed up and other people are better, because I do not believe that. What I'm saying is that there's some sicknesses within our community that we need to remedy. That's all that I'm saying. And I'm a byproduct of that shit from seeing like a couple of family members killed by other black folks.
Two things real quick. One, I gotta give Third his flowers, because when you step up here and all of it, like Quez, all of us, this podcast promotes other black people's businesses. We do it on our Facebook, we do it on our social media, and we don't always see that with a lot of other people in our own community. And I think what Third said was true. A lot of times we can criticize our own community, but not hate it. We just want it to do better. It's not like I'm saying black people are the worst, but I'm saying, hey, these are areas we're deficient in. Why can't we fix it? I don't have the answers. I don't know. I'm not the smartest person in the world, but there are issues in every culture. But let's try to focus on ours and fix the ones that we all know there's issues about. That's all I'm gonna say.
Go ahead, Tish.
Okay. So my question is, since we've brought up Tyrese and what he said, and we brought up all the stuff that can possibly cause this for his comment to happen, what can we do as a people to try to start fixing this? That's why I'm glad Third said what he said and all that, because I think the main thing that should be going on right here, yeah, we talked about it, we discussed it, we dragged Tyrese or whatever the case may be, but what can we do as a people before we end this topic? What are some suggestions or what we can do to help fix it? Because talking about it all day like this is not fixing nothing. It's really not.
Yes.
Agreed. Mm-hmm. So here's I've seen something about what actually Bun B had made a clip and he said something, and this is going to kickstart to where we can actually open up that dialogue to what you're saying.
Look, if everybody was a real nigga and everybody was solid, more people would be successful. You know what I'm saying? But it's more fuck niggas than it is real niggas.
Yes, it is.
And that's why there aren't more successful real people, because a lot of fuck niggas held a lot of people back purposely. Like, made it their life's work to just make sure this nigga wasn't gonna be nobody.
I mean, he's speaking fact. Now, this is a rapper turns entrepreneur. He has Trill Burgers. Mm-hmm. So if we're talking about support and you're supporting the real NIGGA, whatever, you know what I'm saying? How many black people are actually going to Trill Burgers and eating as opposed to going to McDonald's? That's the point that I'm trying to make. So if you see some... Hold on a sec, Adoration Thailand birthday girl. That's your birthday. You can cry if you want to. I know.
She wanted to know what was Trill Burgers. She never heard of it.
Oh, I forgot. You're out of the country. So Trill Burgers is a burger company that Bun B owns in Houston. They have a lot of selection of burgers. They even have for people who don't partake in meat. They have I think veggie burgers or impossible meat burgers or something like that. So yeah, they have an option for everybody, whether you like meat, whether you don't like meat. And he's a black entrepreneur, and this is something that he has. So he has a few in Houston. I think he might have one in Vegas. I forget where he has his locations at, but shout out to Bun B. And if you're of the black community and you live in Houston or somewhere, if you know a Trill Burger, make sure you go support and go eat at the Trill Burgers as opposed to a Burger King or In-N-Out or the McDonald's. Go support Bun B first before you give your dollar to somebody else. That's part of what I think that we can do as a culture or as a community to help uplift each other. It's kind of like what we're doing now. You know, Quez got businesses, Tisha got businesses, Shannon got books, Adoration got books. Melvin's over here putting Melvin here's over here putting kids and stuff through college and school. You know, saying Jessica got a business. We are the walking personification of what it means to actually support Black-owned business and network amongst Black folks and keep this going. And hopefully we're that example that everybody is seeing. That's what the whole purpose of this platform is for.
But the problem
we need to order a tip drill.
Oh, what?
A tip drill.
That's what were you about to say?
No, I was gonna say, so for those who have their own business, the problem is McDonald's could be cheaper than the person who has that own business and could be charging more. So
you have to be able to pay more.
So I feel as a community, if we're gonna support each other, no matter what, we're gonna buy the more expensive one, even if it's just $1-2 more. We're gonna support our community over McDonald's or Burger King.
That's the sacrifice that needs to be made. I agree.
And not only that, I do agree with that, but I have tried, or I do try different Black businesses, and I can tell you right now, the customer service is horrible. Not everybody's. Hold on.
Hold on. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm gonna let you come back to that. But this is where I'm going to stop. Now I'm going to draw the line, because again, if we're talking about positivity and showcasing Black people, we got to stop. I get it, but there's also white businesses that have bad customer service too. Exactly. The thing about it is, it's not what we're going to do here on this platform, because again, we're already talking about what we can do to remedy that. And I think we're backtracking a little bit. We're saying, well, we go to some of these Black establishments, and so just give some advice of what they can do to make it better.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but you cut me off before I could finish.
No, okay. I just didn't like where it was headed.
What I'm just saying, it is horrible, but there's ways that if I can give you a feedback to make it better, don't take it the wrong way because I'm telling you
I'm sorry.
with X, Y, and Z. I give my feedback just like I will want feedback as well. Oh, you could do this better. Okay, because that's the only way that's going to make us better. But if I'm telling you something like, hey, you know, I understand you're busy, acknowledge me, or acknowledge when I come in the door, or what you in a full-fledged mid-conversation about your boyfriend last night, you got a full-fledged people in here trying to do business with you. So I'm just trying to give you information or, you know, feedback to make it better, not to make it worse. And there's companies, I don't mind going back. Let's see if the customer service is going to change. I have no problem putting my money in the Black communities and things like that because I want to keep us up and moving and thriving. But at the same time, some people just don't like to take the feedback and they take it the wrong way. So that's a way that I would definitely want us to be able to do things. But everybody has to be able to understand that if you're going to have a business, you got to be able to take feedback, constructive criticism as well, in order to make your business better. Because you want us to be able to come in back and forth, whether it's white, Black, in anything. We want to be able to leave our Black dollars with our Black people. But at the same time, we're giving you guys this, you know, giving people these things, and then they're not taking it. But then they get upset because we've decided, okay, well, I'm not going to go to your business. Let me go to the other Black hair salon because your customer service is not like the other ones, you know, or something to that nature. It wasn't to be like a negative thing. It's just trying to.
Okay, my fault.
You know,
I apologize.
She has a good point. Definitely a good point. If you want us to spend
go
more,
go ahead, Shannon. Cause I see you driving. Go ahead.
Hold on, I got something to say because y'all so quick to talk about Black people customer service and Black business, but y'all give McDonald's and all these other places tries, but y'all don't go ahead and give that Black business one try. As soon as they fuck up your order, y'all want to be like, oh no, that's the reason why we don't fuck with Black business. So McDonald's stay constantly messing up y'all orders. But y'all constantly go back over there to McDonald's or whatever other commercial establishment and continue to go there. But y'all y'all only give us one. Shut up. My husband is under the influence, y'all, and I'm in the car. I can't control it. It's my husband.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
But yeah, that's that. So y'all can't go. Y'all can't go. Y'all can't go so hard on Black businesses.
Right, you're right.
I agree, but what I said is if you're gonna spend more, if you want somebody to spend more money, a lot of times, as we said, Black businesses, the people take it personally when you're trying to give them criticism, constructive criticism to better their establishment. They're like, well, fuck you then, blah blah, and they get mad because you're trying to help them out, and that goes to a lot of people and their ego. And then they're like, well, you don't want to support Black business. Well, I'm trying to help you, but you don't want to hear what I have to say. You just said, buy my shit and shut. And but if McDonald's does that, I say, fuck that McDonald's on College and on First. I'll go to the McDonald's on the other McDonald's down the street. Just as T said, oh, if that black business didn't want to listen to me, I'll just go spend my money on another Black business. There's nothing.
But this is my thing, Melvin. There has to be a level of grace as well, right?
Yeah.
We are holding ourselves to a higher standard, and it happens. It happens too frequently that our tolerance level with each other is so minimal. Like, well, shit, I came out here to try to support. I had to wait in line 10 minutes. Fuck this. I would have never had to wait on Fridays to get. You know what I mean? Like, you got to.
It goes both ways. I agree.
When they're coming into the industry, and you got to, you know what I'm saying? If we really trying to change the narrative, it may take 3, 4, 5 times of you going back as a repeat customer, even if they have bad service, and you got to drop a hint every time you in there. Hey, look, maybe y'all should do this. Maybe y'all should do that, and keep it moving. But no, what Black people do, we show up, and hey, y'all on some bullshit in here. You know what I'm saying? You want me to pay an extra $1? I ain't paying no extra $1. I can go down to Mickey D's. And I can, you know what I'm saying? You can't
you're right. You're right.
Show up with the same grace.
We say, take them punk ass Mickey D's, man.
You got to give these people a chance to work into their rhythm. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people, like, for people that don't know, if you got a restaurant style business, a lot of times you're working 14 to 18 hours a day to keep that operational. So yes, my patience may not be at the highest. My customer service may not be the best because I got my mom in the back cooking, or I got my auntie in the back cooking, and she's tired. Now I got to send her home, and it's only 3 of us here, so I got to take orders, cook the food, take orders on the phone, make sure we paying the bills. Like, there's a lot that goes into this. We are not McDonald's. We don't have a whole system in place where I don't have to worry about ordering food and doing this, and you know what I mean? So give these people some grace because we're on the ground level. This is not a chain restaurant. This is not a chain business.
I agree.
We're figuring out these systems in place as we go. So when you walk in there, you might have had a bad experience 1 or 2 times, but keep going back because you want to support the community. Period.
Agree.
And
I agree with you. It makes sense. It goes both ways. You have to have patience with them.
If I gotta go in there 3 or 4 times and they ain't getting a hint and they just being rude and disrespectful, I'm just gonna find another black restaurant to go to. It is what it is. But at the same time, I totally agree with what my Quez was saying. It's just a fact of been there, done that, where I'm going to support and nothing is changing. So if I give you feedback and you can't take it, then you don't need a business. I'm sorry. Like, that's the only way, in my opinion. That's how you have Yelp and stuff like that, because that's how you get more business, word of mouth. And I know lots of people, you know what I'm saying? So you want me to be able to, hey, go to this one. I say to all my white people, all colors of my friends, hey, go to this business, so they can bring in the money too, and they can bring their other races to that establishment as well. But I want them to be able to see the great customer service that I know we can have. I want them to be able to see that we can make changes to make our stuff in our community better, not just what they automatically see on TV or what they heard in X, Y, and Z. We're not anybody's statistics, and a lot of us, I tell people, don't let nobody think that we're statistic. Period. Point blank and simple. Let's think outside of the box. And that's what they automatically assume about us, so they don't want to go. So, like, I tell all my people, regardless of what race, go here. I want you to try this out. Tell me what you think. I don't like, even with Surf and Soul, a lot of my non-black people knew about it. And guess what? They go now. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem. And I'll be in line for 40 and 50 minutes. I don't care. I've done that. Spent over $60-something, $70-something just so I can sit here and say that I am supporting my community, and I don't care how long it takes. Period, point blank and simple. But at the same time, if somebody's giving you constructive criticism, you have to be able to take it. I have no problem with coming back. I've done it before multiple times, and I still do it to this day. I'm not going to stop, drop, and roll. If I go in there 10 times and it's still an issue, okay, let me go find another restaurant. Let me go find another black restaurant to go support that.
Yeah,
true.
You guys need to support my weed business. That's it.
I don't smoke, honey, but
I'm going to start selling.
I don't either.
I don't.
Hey, well, just
like, hey,
put it in a tube and send it to Thailand.
Just buy it and hand it out.
Like, I'll take the California
support the business. Hand it, buy it, and hand it out.
Something, though. I want to say something because one of the things about black businesses that people are learning now, there's like a huge rise in the black community when it comes to business. Business owners and investing and stuff. I'm into all that space, so there's a huge rise in it. I feel like one of the things about black-owned businesses, I think Quez brought it up, T brought it up. People don't understand how to do business, or they're not really allowed in those circles. So when they start these businesses, they have, like you said, they have to do it all themselves. They're trying to pull it, and then we got the government and stuff. Just be honest. It's rigged against us. So it's very hard to do stuff like that. So I feel like we can bring in, to help our black businesses, different expertise. Like me, I'm a business major. I know how to do business. I understand marketing. I understand we can bring our things together. People have different strengths and weaknesses. Tisha's brother has his platform. He's like, hey, Third, hit me up. I'm going to start, I'm going to put you on. I can bring you on here. We can start working together in those ways, because let's just say you open a little shop and you're just trying to cook a burger, but you don't know how to market. Like I said, what is that place? I never heard of that place. You don't know how to market. You don't know how to get these loans. You don't know how to get these grants to get the, let's say, the employees that you need, for example. That's one thing that we don't talk about. They don't have enough money to even get employees. And we say, well, black businesses have bad customer service, but let's be honest, McDonald's is almost fully run by black people. I mean, they are the employees there. My brother's,
depends on where you're at.
Manager, you know what I mean, of one of these McDonald's. And so, it's run by us. It's not like we're not the ones doing it. It's just that they have the grants, the tax dollars, the the stuff to
resources.
be able to run that, to be able to pull that off the ground, to be able to have lower prices, to be able to have people who are not dead tired and can actually come to work. So I feel like it's not just like, oh, they just have bad attitudes. Like, we can't just stop at service level and not. That's why I always want us to acknowledge the oppression that comes behind it. Because with the oppression, we can say, okay, this is why. Not just come support, because yeah, we come support. That's nice, but T's right. I'm not gonna come and get treated like shit 10 times. That's just not me. I'm not that person.
Right,
I'm the kind of person. If I don't like you,
right?
I'm sorry, I don't like you.
There comes a point.
I can acknowledge that. Yeah,
Education is really important, Alexandria. I agree.
It's hard for you, so it's like, okay, let me see. Hey, you know what I mean? I do this for a living. Can I help you get a grant? Hey, I do this. Can I help you get write off on your taxes? I feel like that's the kind of support we can start offering each other. Not even just, okay, I'll come on your platform. Oh, let me criticize you. But hey, what can I do to actually help you go viral?
Yep.
You know,
but they also
like,
need to be open to having that too. They need to be open to be able to take the trainings and take this and take that. They automatically, some people automatically assume, I know what I'm doing. Well, you got a 2-star, you got a 3-star, so you're doing something wrong.
Hey, come on. I thought we was talking about solutions here, people.
Yeah. That's why I worked with LT when we sold those people's houses.
We're
that
not
one
gonna
time,
keep beating up on my people every time we turn the corner. You know
but you're right. We need.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, in order to help you, you have to. But in order to help, you do have to be open to take these trainings that people are willing to give you.
It's okay. Those just aren't the right people. Keep moving.
Right.
Those aren't your people. Move on.
Go ahead. Okay. Let's hear from LT. Go ahead, LT.
Go ahead, Tish.
Okay, so I have my master's in IO psychology, which is how people work in the workplace. I can be able to read how people act and how they perform in the workplace and come up with solutions to how to make it better. One thing when you go into a place, an establishment, and the person is not treating you correctly or whatever case, you need to go further back than that. It comes to training. And if your HR person or whoever the training is just as bad at their job as their training, guess what? It's being passed down, passed down. So don't stop at trying to give corrective criticism or whatever to just the person who's delivering your food or the person that's, providing you with this. You might need to take it a little bit further and not even just that local place. You might need to take it if there's a corporate, you might need to take it that far and not necessarily complain or be like, this happens every time. And this one person does this, it's one person that does that. Every place has a department that takes your criticism or takes your suggestions and they review it because that's what they're supposed to. Okay, let me say this, not every, but they should have it where they take the incoming info and use it to make training and development better. And if not, they would bring in somebody like me to come in and observe and then come up with a solution to make it better. So that way it's not being spewed to the outside world. So that can be another suggestion of how we can fix those places and things like that.
Can I just say something real quick? How many of y'all got jobs? Like most people on here have a job, right?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
There's certain things that you guys don't pay me to deal with, right? Even in my job, I get paid up to a certain point. Somebody come in here tripping, this is no longer part of my job. You know what I mean? I didn't show up to get disrespected. So you have to also understand that some of these people are making the bare minimum trying to take care of their families. And a lot of times, if you started a business and you have a brick and mortar, a storefront, you probably sacrificed everything you had. This is all you got right here. You know what I'm saying? But some of the people that you had to bring in to help facilitate your dream may not be the best people, but they were the people you can afford. So, you know what I mean? These are people that, you know what I'm saying, until I get this up and running and I get this off the ground, then maybe I can, find some better quality people. But right now, all I can afford is Leon. And he got 3 felonies and he just happy to have a job. I just need him to show up and take your order and punch the stuff in the computer. All these things have to factor in. That's why I say when you show up to these businesses, you have to give grace because you don't know what these people are sacrificing just to keep the doors open.
Agreed.
It may not be Chick-fil-A. It may not be, my pleasure. Nigga, what do you want? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, we struggling. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, I don't want to hear about why we ain't got this today. Nigga, what do you want? You know what I'm saying? Let's get this stuff out the door. I got 10 more people behind you, and I'm behind on the past 5 orders. I'm just trying to make the day. So that's what I mean by grace. Like, you know what I'm saying? And if we gonna complain about every infraction as people are learning and growing, and this is why education is important, these are opportunities that we do not have. So we need the individuals that do have those expertise to come back into the community, and we have to create a safe space for people to come and learn those things. You know what I mean? It's not stuff you're getting in high school. Most of us are not going to college. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're, you know what I mean? Most women are going to college, but a lot of these individuals don't have access to these opportunities that we're faulting them for not pursuing. You know what I mean? You got to take all of this into account. That's why I get mad when people be like, "Oh, you just should do that." It's not simple. There's a lot of factors that play into why people are in the position they're in, and it's not always their fault. So we can't just point our fingers at them and say, "Oh, well, you should have went to college." You know what I'm saying? You learned up there, motherfuckers. Like, you can't do that. Like, come back once you have, and stop charging people for game. Like that is my biggest pet peeve. Like, y'all out here charging people to give people access to information that you got. Yes, you might have went to college, but you went on a track scholarship, motherfucker. You didn't pay either. Come back and get that information to the community. Quit trying to come up with these stupid ass ebooks for $35. You know what I'm saying? Like,
get ready to say that.
If you find somebody that needs help, give them the help. Stop trying to charge everybody. Everything's not a lick. You know what I mean? Everything's not a come up. Come help your people. That's all. That's how we get to help your people for free. And you charge them others down the way. You charge them full price. The same shit, the same ebook you was gonna sell me for $7, charge them $35, and you just covered 4 of the homies in the hood that need the opportunity, and you got it over here on the back end. Please and thank you. Can y'all do that for me?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, go ahead, Jess.
The last time
Jess wanted to say something.
Oh, go ahead, Jess.
She was getting ready to say something before. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jess.
So, yeah, I kind of agree with Quiz. As far as the not charging people too much, I feel, for the information, because the community that I'm in, there are a lot of our people doing what I'm doing, and they're charging them for like pretty much the information to start the whole business for like $10-15, giving them all the ins and outs, everything for a real low price. You know what I mean? I think that's good. But to charge them like hundreds of dollars, yeah, no one's gonna pay for that, you know?
Yeah.
And then as far as us sticking together, I feel like a lot of the Latino community, they all do stick together no matter what. I get what Melvin was saying, no matter through infidelity, whatever. I don't agree with that, but
neither do I. It's toxic as shit.
It is toxic, but
it's toxic as shit.
But I will say that they have siblings living together. My siblings are spread out. So how are we going to help each other if we're all spread out? You know what I mean? If we all stuck together, if we all helped each other, uncles, aunts, like I have uncles and aunts that are wealthy, but we're over here struggling. You know what I mean? If we all came together and we helped each other, we educated each other, ain't got to charge each other for classes or whatever to help us get to the level that they're at, then maybe we would have been a little bit higher. Yeah, we had a lot of setbacks, like Adoration said. A lot of our towns got stripped away from us from you know who. And it's like we still got to build back up. Right now, I feel like we can do that without it being stripped away from us now. So if we all come together, help each other, educate each other, we'd be further along than what we are right now.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. All I was going to say is last time I went to a black-owned business, I had hair, and now I don't.
But you can get that at any restaurant, though. Any restaurant. It's not just a black restaurant.
Always one
I had hair, and now I don't. That's all I'm going to leave it there. That's it.
Yeah, we all got some food at the Dollar Tree too, and we missing a toe.
Okay.
You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Good stuff, man.
God.
Listen. Now, I'm not saying let people take advantage of you in your business prowess, but I think it should be a formulation in your business, a part of your charitable donation to come back and give that information. Like we talking about us, we are at the lowest possible rung on the spectrum in terms of starting out business. There's so many other people that have way more acumen than us. Not to say that we ain't great, because we are fucking amazing. You know what I'm saying? Don't get that.
The best.
Yeah, don't get it twisted. I'm just saying, we have to set the tone in the community that we're gonna reach out and help people develop the skill set and have access to opportunities that they didn't know that they had access to and didn't know the skill sets that they needed. So if you or if you are speaking to someone who has already made it and your rich aunties and uncles, make them feel bad. That's your job. Make them feel bad for not helping. That's what you got to do. You got to make them wealthy, bougie motherfuckers out here riding around the hoods and rafes, blowing blunts and trickling weed stems out the window to you peasants. Make them feel bad.
That's why I cut them all off. I don't talk to anybody asking me money.
Feel bad, sir. And I'm not telling you to come back to the hood and get knocked down, because we have to do a better job at protecting the people that are feeding us, just like Nipsey. You know what I'm saying? He came back. He was the prime example of this modern day era, coming back to the community and trying to help it thrive. And then we sat there and watched and let that man get hurt, you know what I'm saying, with no security and nobody was there to tell Nipsey, hey, maybe you shouldn't be outside like this because niggas are still thirsty over here. So we got to do a better job at protecting our neighbors and staying on code. We have to stay on code in terms of how we move and operate. There should be a standard, period, point blank. And until we get there, none of this shit matters. All the suggestions and all the $5 ideas, like none of it matters until we get everybody to follow a code.
I agree.
Well
said. Well said.
We'll leave it at that. We're gonna wrap it up because this has been really, really good. It's been really really long, really long, but it's been really informative. I think we got a lot of good information.
Are we talking about Drake again?
No, sir.
Oh,
ain't nobody. Go watch the Drake. Now this has been a good dialogue. Now this has been definitely a good dialogue, and I definitely think this is where it needs to start within our community, is a good open dialogue. And like T said, we got to be open to criticism, constructive criticism, especially if it's to make ourselves better, because we have to grow. We have, again, I don't think that we're the minority. I really don't believe that. And especially when you have all these politicians who try to placate to us and try to appease to us, because again, if we were the minority, why the hell would they need our vote? So that's going to show you right then and there that we have power, and there's power within the voice, and there's power within the people. We just have to utilize our resources and come together and showcase that power. And there's certain things that we have ailing us in our community that we can fix. And
we gotta go vote locally and change our community. That's it.
Word. I mean, we need more of us in office. You know what I'm saying?
Right. We all
need more
agree,
of us in office.
Joe Biden.
We need more of us everywhere.
True.
Joe Biden's not the best, but we need to worry about the local.
There's definitely, I feel you though. Well, that's definitely a different conversation. This has been a good one. I think we're gonna try to shoot this live next week. We'll be in a special location. We'll divulge that once we get there. Once we get everything situated.
Are we going to the bunny ranch or what? All right.
Plenty of toes for you, man.
We got some Figueroa, 304 Figueroa. Hold it down over there.
Don't turn it into that.
Shannon, we appreciate you. You over here, she's on a Melvin mode mission. I know we heard in the background.
Get the king to the house. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Go ahead and get bro back to the crib.
Right.
We heard that. See, see, I appreciate
We
you.
all know what that face was.
We all know what.
Okay.
Happy birthday!
Are we understand?
Happy birthday, adoration.
Happy
birthday, adoration.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Alexandria, thank
to
you in the comments. You was full of diversity.
Happy birthday, adoration.
Thank everybody for
Thank you
tuned
so
in.
much.
Everybody for tuning in, man.
I
All right, this
forgot
has been a
again.
real one.
We're live. I forgot.
This dude.
Yeah, we're always live.
We're always
All the time.
We see
I
Shannon.
know. I forget. I be saying shit. I'm like, damn, that's forever.
Yeah, forever.
Yes,
That's
forever.
Hey,
Forever.
just like the
And it
Monique
might
clips
come
on
back.
YouTube, they're gonna last. We got receipts.
Yeah.
All
That,
right, well,
They might come back.
I think my Incredible Hulk has wore off. I think I'll go eat me some Captain Crunch now. Y'all have a good one.
Watch out your gums. Watch them gums.
Peace.
All right, man.